Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for bad podcasts unless that podcast is bad. Movies rule. Let's go. We're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990, and we got the mayor in the house today. Also, he knows a lot about a little and a little about a lot. Dr. Madela is here in the studio, and the Manimal.
I'm having a hard time keeping my temperatures down. Yes! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's right. We got Bob Hauser.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
How you doing? How are you doing?
That was wild, man.
I'm doing great. Nothing got destroyed. Whoa, hold on. Cancel the show.
Who's
Whoa, stop talking. Where is my...
Oh.
Where is she?
Don't
Where
is she?
Yell. There it is.
Where's Rachel?
Where is she? That's my...
All right, joining in us. Wait. Somebody's
Hey,
at the kids'
Who's
table.
this guy?
How's it going?
Did you book somebody for the kids' table?
I did not. I'm the mayor. I know everybody. I don't know this guy.
I know this guy.
Who are you?
My name's Bert Summer.
Bert
Summer.
Summer.
Yeah, I work downstairs.
You're
Right.
a janitor?
Yeah, I'm a janitor here.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, but how did you?
Toilets.
Who told you could come on the show?
The lady that owns the Bentley, she told me you guys do bad movies that rule, and this was one of my favorite movies, so I just kind of wanted to.
You're saying-
Look at
What
the outfit.
lady?
Look
and
at
your
the
name is Bert because you sound actually very familiar to me.
He sounds a lot like a guy we know.
Like this guy Kurt Mummer, which is
right.
weird because your name
That's
is very
ridiculous.
It's Bert
no
Summer.
way that-
Guys,
be the
I
same.
think we should cut him some slack and look at the mustache.
Well, he's
and
dressed up
he's
like a
dressed
Ninja
up. He's
Turtle.
even got the
Pretty good.
haircut
Yeah,
of a
he's
Ninja
pretty good,
Turtle.
yeah, he looks good.
Okay, what do we know? What do we know though? Kurt doesn't have a mustache. He doesn't
No, he
have
doesn't.
a red blindfold thing.
Kurt
That's
can't
true.
grow a mustache.
He doesn't wear a turtle shell.
That's
So
true.
this
Are
is
those
definitely not him.
is that like safety glasses for cleaning the toilet?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's
all right.
Keeps the
actually,
poop particles.
Legit. Seems legit.
All right, Bert.
OSHA approved.
Bert, look, this is, I mean, it's highly irregular. I don't just let people just be here that I don't know about. But, you seem like you really love the Turtles. You're literally dressed like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love the
So as
Turtles.
long as you're cool, well, you
Love
can
this movie.
stick around for a while.
Love all
and-
three of them.
All right.
Bert,
Hey.
All right. Well,
Bert Summer.
does your parents know where you're at?
Both my parents are dead. I'm basically
great.
like Bruce.
Way to go, Bob. Just
Without the money.
I'm just asking.
starting off right on the right foot
Well, I
there.
mean, he's
the
probably
man
old
lost his
enough.
parents.
He works downstairs.
Pretty insensitive.
It's not insensitive. It's a question.
My parents used to own this building.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
The list of people that we have on
Are
the show
they,
has
are they
grown and
buried
grown.
in the basement?
Legit.
I
Did you
don't-
bury them in the
I don't have
basement?
any word on that. I'm
No,
not
his
really
mom's in a
allowed to say.
rocking chair up in the attic.
Oh, that explains a lot.
All right, guys, we're talking about
Old Bates Motel.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990, the original live-action movie from our childhoods,
Wait,
right? I mean,
it's
not
a
your
live-action
childhood.
movie?
Not
It's li-
yours.
yeah. You watch an animated
Did
one?
you watch the cartoon?
No.
Who did?
He wasn't even alive when the cartoons were around.
That either. Or this movie.
You were
right?
2 years old when this movie came out. I don't
It
even want to
counts.
hear about it.
It counts.
Okay,
It's still in his lifetime.
Close enough.
for Ryan and I and Bert, I don't know how old you are. We would have been 11 years old when this came out.
Yeah, I would have been about then.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, 10, 11,
10,
12.
11
sure.
years old. That's awesome.
Yeah. There's a lot of variations of
I'm
this cartoon.
surprised
I
I
don't know if
haven't
you know
run
that.
into you in town. It's not a big town.
Well, there was the original 1987 cartoon
Yeah.
that ran for a while. That's what this really was fed in. But this in the comic book fed into the movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many frickin' Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoons there's been since then.
There's like 6 right now.
Going
6 different
currently?
versions. Yes.
How many have there been?
What's 6?
Okay.
That's, yeah,
Oh, all
yeah,
right.
yeah. Not
Gotcha.
6, not 6 altogether. Just 6 total.
Feed me the right information, Bert. It'll be canceled off this show pretty quick. You'll learn that right away.
Oh, okay.
We only deal with the strictest of information.
You have done way too
do
much research.
all of our research.
I
for
thought
this
the
show.
mayor was the head guy. So
How do you know about the mayor?
Well, you just said his
You
name
did
was
say
the
the
mayor.
mayor.
So
Oh,
I was
you did
guessing
tell me the
he
mayor.
was-
You are fishing.
He's more
you are
of just
fishing. You
a
think
figurehead.
Yeah.
this is not
much.
Kurt. You are fishing right now.
It sounds just
you
like
want
him. Is all
him
I'm
to
saying.
be Kurt.
I don't know. Kurt is banned right now. Currently, I mean, not banned. Temporary suspension. He's in pun jail.
We gave him a
Okay,
chance
let's do
on
a
the
test.
mail
Let's do a
bag.
So
test.
who is
He
this
blew
guy?
it.
What happened?
And now
Bert, we're gonna do a test.
Yeah.
If I say that was a lot of fun, what do you want to say after that?
I like fun.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
He
Sounds
passes
good.
the pun
passes
test.
it. Yep.
All right. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
All right, so let's get into the vitals for this movie. The movie was directed by Steve Barron. Now, Steve Barron, probably not a household name other than he directed Ninja Turtles. He directed a ton of music videos leading up to this movie. And then the movie Coneheads in 1993 with Dan Aykroyd when they bring in that SNL sketch into a full-length feature film. And then a whole lot of more music videos. So not really a prolific directing career from Steve Barron. Didn't come back for the sequel either. They had somebody else direct that. Movie was written by Bobby Herbeck and Todd Langen. Again, TV writers. So Bobby wrote 3 episodes of Small Wonder and 1 of The Jeffersons before doing this. And Todd had written 7 episodes of The Wonder Years. So you got a Wonder Years guy and a Small Wonder guy teamed up to write the first script for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Not a couple of people that you think a big studio would hire for a big property like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But you know why? Because a big studio didn't make this movie. This was an independent film. No studio backing at all.
Really?
Isn't that crazy? They shopped this movie around. Okay, so it had a budget of $13 million, which is not nothing. It was owned by Mirage Comics, Mirage Studios at the time. That was the comic book that the Ninja Turtles were under. They weren't Marvel or DC. So I'm assuming a lot of that $13 million came from Mirage and however else they raised it. Mm-hmm. As they're producing this movie, they shopped it around to all of the major studios. Paramount, which ended up doing the newer version of the Ninja Turtle movies, the CGI one.
Those ones suck.
Yeah, no. But
except for Megan Fox.
They all said no. Everybody said no. And you want to know why they said no?
Why?
They assume, from what I read, and I know, Ryan, don't get mad, I did a little tiny bit of research, but not a lot.
Okay, well.
Because I was just curious once I saw this, was it before Blair Witch Project came out? This was the highest grossing independent film of all time.
Okay.
Wow.
This movie.
Well, that's important
So-
research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a stupid question.
Yeah.
It says New Line Cinema when you start watching the movie.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to get to.
Okay.
No, you're good. So they shopped it around everybody. Everybody said no because they thought it was going to be another Masters of the Universe where it was just going to bomb and not make any money like Masters did.
Yeah, that movie sucked.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, you couldn't be Kurt.
Couldn't be Kurt. No.
Dolph,
Not
how
at
can
all.
you? How can a movie with Dolph Lundgren bomb?
I don't understand, but they probably thought it was a surefire hit because it's He-Man. The problem is they didn't really make a He-Man movie. That's why, in my estimation, probably why it bombed. Mm-hmm. But they thought it's just going to be another Masters, so everybody passed on it, except for New Line. And New Line at the time was really only known for like B movies and horror and some schlock
Wait
and
a
stuff
second.
like that.
You're telling me that Hollywood did not follow the source material?
Oh, well, in this case,
Wait a minute.
the reason why it's probably so
Shenanigans.
the reason it's probably so faithful to the source material is because it didn't have a big studio interfering with it.
Yeah.
And the comic creators were heavily involved in what was happening, right?
So it was a blessing.
And so New Line at the end, picks it up for distribution.
Right.
So it says New Line on it, but they didn't pay for the movie. They didn't have any kind of say in how the script or anything turned out. So this was an independent film.
So their only piece in it was just distribution.
It was just distribution on the back end.
Okay.
That's awesome.
New Line also did The Mask, right?
Yes, The Mask. Well,
Yeah.
See, you do know a lot
You know
about
what else
movies.
they did? Lord of the Rings.
Well, by that point, they were a legitimate production company.
Did you know what started New Line Cinema?
No, tell me.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Really?
See, a horror.
Wow.
That's definitely a B horror movie at the time it came out. Anyway.
I believe that was their first ever official movie under New Line Cinema.
Interesting.
I was just shocked when I saw this.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Internet.
And so I think you'll see as we go through the movie all kinds of little hallmarks that say, "Oh yeah, it's clear this didn't have a studio involved because of this, that, and the other thing happened during the movie." And so we'll get into some of that as we go through. Another thing that I want to say about this film, because it made a ton of money. All the studios ended up being idiots for this because, as I said, budget of $13 million. It made $200 million in 1990.
Oops.
It made all the money. Yeah,
Jeez.
definitely not like Masters. And I have, and as we go through this, the movie has its issues, but I wanted to say this up front. I have way more grace to give for an independent film than I do when there's a studio behind something that has all the money in the world and refuses to do it the right way.
And literally will take losses upon losses on crap movies all the time.
Right. So for the fact they were able to make this movie for $13 million, which is, and for a big budget tentpole like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles should have been, that's almost nothing.
Right.
Right.
Right? All right. So let's move on. Sorry. The movie has a 6.7 on IMDb right now, which is a little bit higher than our threshold. So The reason it qualifies, though, is the critics' reviews.
What's exactly your threshold?
Yeah, so it's 6.5 to 6 is kind of a judgment call. Under 6, it's an automatic qualify on IMDb. So 6.7 is high.
I think the 6.7 came from fans, so I think
Oh, yeah.
earlier, like maybe 10 years ago, it was probably in the 5s.
It might have been.
Probably
I saw a lot of movies in the 5s go up to 7s.
Yeah.
They started watching the new ones and said, "Oh yeah, this one's better."
It's not that bad.
I'll tell you what, this new Turtles movie sucks so bad. We got to go re-rate the old ones.
We gotta go look at the old ones.
Now that this is on a curve,
At
we
least
gotta
they
go
had
back.
Bebop and Rocksteady in the new ones.
Oh, right?
That was the only saving grace of the new ones.
Yeah,
Don't get me started on Secret of the Ooze. There's a whole thing about Bebop and Rocksteady for the second one, which when we do the second one, which we inevitably will, we'll talk about that.
Kevin Nash's first movie is Super
That's right.
Shredder. Yeah.
That's right. So 41% on Rotten Tomatoes is the rotten rating that gets it to qualify for this. So the people didn't say it was bad. The people seem to like it. 6.7 on IMDb, 81% audience score. So the people clearly feel a certain way about this movie. The critics feel the opposite. So 41%. That's why it's qualifying for this show. So I think those of us that grew up with it, and Ryan, had you ever seen it before this?
I don't think I've ever seen this one. I
Okay.
had seen like clips of it and stuff, like the face part that we'll get to.
Yeah.
You can see the teeth.
Yeah.
I'd seen the clips on that.
You'd seen some
but I don't
memes
think
and
I'd ever
things like
seen the
that.
full movie.
Gotcha.
Corey Feldman would be ashamed of you right now.
So the reason I bring that up before we dive into it, I think it's important to know that some of us are coming at this revisiting a movie from our childhood, and that's always a dangerous thing to do. Sometimes it's a good experience and it holds up.
Right.
Sometimes you wish you'd never gone back to it.
Right.
We'll see kind of where we fall.
For me, it was like going back to a soggy pizza puff from 5 years ago.
And Bob was like, "Tastes pretty good."
Yeah, exactly. Because you would eat the crap out of some old pizza puffs that were laying around. Don't even play.
Yeah, you got me. I'm sorry.
Bob, he's got the crab scale. You're going to have the pizza puff scale
there
if
you
you're not
go.
too careful. Okay.
All right.
I'm a sucker for pizza.
So what do you
So are the turtles.
what do you guys say we just jump into
Let's
the
jump
plot?
in.
Just like the
Do it.
foot soldiers jump into the sewer.
That's right.
Yeah, just slide right in there.
I got a lot.
Let's start talking about it. So the plot of the movie is this. There are 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that fight against evil
Super Shredder.
Let me start that over.
Oh.
There are 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that fight against an evil clan of ninjas led by a guy named Shredder. And they don't like each other and they fight. And that's the movie, right? What do you think?
From Shredder?
Yeah.
No, that's from Splinter. They're trained by Splinter.
Yes. I would say
but they fight
They
Shredder.
fight Shredder.
Oh, they fight Shredder. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
You don't want to confuse those two.
No, you definitely don't ever want to
Wait.
confuse those two.
You don't want to confuse those two.
No.
Had you ever seen this movie before?
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I had a shell of a good time watching it.
Hold on.
What'd you say?
He said it
he
was
had
a hell of a time
good-
watching it. I
said-
enjoyed the movie.
You son of a-
No, he said hell of a
Play
good
that
time
back.
watching it, man. James, he said hell of a good time.
I
James,
didn't,
no.
James, hold on.
James,
What'd you say? Though?
Hold on.
James.
Hey, how's it going?
James.
Oh, what are you? Oh, what are you doing?
That's the tag.
Oh, come on! Do it. What? What?
It's Kurt.
Oh my God!
You don't just come over here and pull on another man's mustache.
Isn't that a hate crime where you come
Wore a
from?
fake mustache in here just to be on this episode.
You got to be kidding me.
It's Ninja Turtles.
I know, but you're in pun jail.
Well, he's at the kids'
He's
table.
the
Can't be
only
any
man
harm.
against me.
We had you on the mailbag the other day, and you couldn't hold back, man. Come on. I had to electrify the fence, and somehow you got in here still.
There was an electric fence outside?
We installed
Yeah, I
one
turned
because
it off
of
That
Kurt.
was
You
the one
come
you
in.
were sucking on.
Explains everything. You just like me sucking on things, don't you?
Listen, Kurt.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like you.
Like, I know.
Okay, I love you,
I love you too. I'm just sad I don't get
but I don't want you on here.
fine.
Wow.
No. I like the people are
It's
gonna
not
think
us. It's you.
the people are gonna think we're heartless monsters here.
Guys,
No.
he showed up in
No,
his
I get it.
pajamas. Can't he just stay
I
for the
get it.
first 20 minutes?
I mean, I made Condor better, but I get it. That was a lot of puns. Oh Lord.
It's a lot.
It was a lot.
I'm
dude.
sorry.
Apology accepted. Okay.
Yes.
We'll have you back on.
All right.
Okay. In fact, I will say this: we will reinstate you Not in the next episode, but the one after that.
Okay, fair.
And the only reason we're doing that is because it's literally your movie, The Mummer Man.
Otherwise,
Fair enough. Otherwise,
And maybe
if that wasn't happening,
Yes.
when would I come back?
The Mummer Man in 2
okay.
weeks. Okay?
All right,
Is that fair?
that's fair.
All right. I know you love Ninja Turtles,
I do.
and people are going to think I'm a heartless monster.
Can I
but
be on the second
You are.
one?
there is a reason for this. We'll maybe get into that even more in 2 weeks.
Can I get into the second one?
You're
Can
going
I
to be
do
on the second one
movie?
and Turtles in Time.
All
You
right.
could be on Secret of the Ooze and Turtles in Time.
All right, thanks.
All right?
All right, I'll see you guys later.
All right.
All right, buddy.
all right, walk on.
I fought for you.
Walk of shame.
Just remember that.
Get the shell out of here.
Now, hold on just a damn minute.
You just get this.
Wait. It's contagious.
Hold on.
It's Ninja Turtles, though. I think we
gonna
get a
have to
pass
throw
on that.
another one over the wall?
That mustache did not come off easy.
Yeah,
look like it.
I was kind of worried
Looked
for a
like you got
second.
some, you
I
got
was
some
like-
real hair on that one.
I needed to use two hands.
I was like,
I think I grabbed his lip.
James,
I was
it might be
looking-
real. Hold on.
Wait.
I was looking to see if I'm like, did Kurt have a mustache when
Okay.
he walked in here? If he did, he doesn't know.
Just for the people listening at home, I know you think I'm heartless, but I promise you there's more to the story than you think, which will be revealed in 2 weeks' time. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on the matter. We got to move on with Ninja
Sounds like
Turtles.
something a communist would say.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Good Lord.
All right, so let's start off the plot of this movie. The plot is this. It opens on April O'Neil, who is the famous news reporter from the Ninja Turtles cartoon and the comic book, and she has given a news report and narrating what is happening, laying the groundwork. And essentially it's this. There's a gang of thieves in the city that is robbing everyone blind. Literally, if it's not nailed down, people are snatching it.
There's a 17-foot moving truck full of crap, car stereos, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Guy goes over, gets a signature, turns around, the truck's empty,
that's right.
completely empty.
Now, Bob, you move furniture for a living.
Yeah.
How many people would you need to empty a truck that fast?
At least 15 guys.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
Bob's never emptied a truck that fast in his life.
No, not at all.
No, Bob moves 2 boxes, has a sandwich.
Yep. Move 2 boxes, have a sandwich, move a dresser, go on Facebook, yeah, maybe go on Amazon and order
right.
something.
That's right. You've moved a lot of furniture. I mean, it's what you do.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I move furniture.
And so I knew, Bob, either you screamed bull crap at your television
Oh, I
or,
did.
or it got you really excited.
All right, I said that delivery driver needs to be fired. He sucks. You don't ever let any boxes out of your sight.
No.
Like
Yeah.
if that was me, I'd be chasing the guys down.
That's right.
Yeah.
Suddenly you'd be the 5th Ninja Turtle.
I'd be the 5th Ninja Turtle.
There's a
The
lady.
movie would not continue. There'd be crime over.
Bob just beats the crap out of all of them.
Bob drags Shredder into Steinhoffel's. Hey, I caught this guy.
Caught this guy.
Gets all the boxes.
Took my boxes.
I took my boxes. I got a
Beats the
job
crap
for
out of
you.
'em.
You're gonna slice up all these boxes and put them in the compactor.
Open the box.
You're the box opener, you son of a box opener.
Shredder's like, what's in the box?
They even robbed this lady's like piece of crap television
Yeah.
she's got on her porch.
You never steal a black lady's
That
television.
television looks like
$1.
it probably didn't even actually
60s.
work. Like they just the noise, the sound worked out of it. She wasn't even watching.
She was listening to the TV.
Listening to the TV, yeah.
But so April says, do you have anything she says? Or
Unfortunately, all we have is the police.
Okay.
The only thing.
yeah, she says all we have is the police. There's no one else. And I'm
Yeah.
like, who the hell do you think is gonna do
The
something?
army is
Is
gonna
this DC? No. Is it Marvel? No. You don't have superheroes in your universe, lady.
But in 1990, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's right.
We
Maybe
did.
she was hoping Arnold would
If
roll
only
in.
Arnold would show up.
Yeah, if only.
If only.
If Arnold went through a green pigmentation. of his skin.
I am a turtle. I love
right.
pizza.
That's right.
Cowabunga, dude.
Right.
Cowabunga.
You never ever pay for late pizza. All right, so April finishes her news report. She walks out into the alleyway or wherever to go to her van, and she comes around the corner, and these kind of teenage gang members, which is all we've seen so far. We haven't seen any bad ninjas yet.
Oh yeah, they passed a wallet around to 17 different guys
Right.
to get rid of it.
That
As
the
the least
street gang in the alley is led
Yeah.
by Sam Rockwell.
A young Sam. I was like, that's Guy from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, I did catch that. Yeah.
With the peach fuzz and everything.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, awesome. But before they can, I mean, they're like, you took the wrong turn or bad timing, lady, or whatever. They go to Sam Rockwell's, who looks like he's 14 years old. I know he's probably 24,
They
but he
literally
looks
just
really young.
smeared dirt on his face and said, "You a man now."
That's right. Like they go like they're going to beat her
Simba
up.
thing to his face. A little bit of soot.
All of a sudden, and this was a cool shot, I thought. Artistically, there were some good shot choices. Not really shot well, but the director, I think, did a good job picking some shots. Anyway, you see a sigh fly into the light bulb,
And the light not break.
and the light doesn't
Yeah.
break.
They just turn the light off.
Quick, they only had 2 light bulbs. They're like, turn the switch off.
Can't afford to go back up to Walmart, guys.
Okay, Raphael, if you could throw your sigh into the light bulb, and if it doesn't break, John, just hit the switch.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened.
Audio guy, cue glass shatter.
That's right. So he throws the light bulb up there, or he throws the light bulb. Raph throws a light bulb at a sigh that's hanging there.
Still doesn't break.
Still doesn't break. Anyway, the lights go out, and you hear that you don't see them yet, but you hear the turtles kind of come in and beat up all the gang members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the lights come back on, or the police show up, and they're all tied up, right? And you hear this one cop go, "Oh, and I thought I'd seen everything." Like, "Oh, Johnny, look, they tied these guys with a rope."
You ever seen this before?
You ever seen
Never saw
anybody?
that
Not with a
before.
rope.
Not with a rope, sir.
Maybe a
didn't
garden
know.
hose, but never a rope.
Does this mean we can't shoot guys anymore? We got to use a rope?
No, we can still shoot them. They're tied up. They're not going to go anywhere.
'Cause usually I just shoot them. This guy used a rope. I thought I'd seen everything. Yeah. So
Wait, but I do have to say, this same gang that just unloaded a 17-foot moving truck in 0.2 seconds is standing there moving the boxes as slow as they possibly can, just so April can walk around the corner and be like,
right.
Dude, it's like 7 p.m.
It's because they were tired,
tired
from how fast
from before.
from how fast they moved the other boxes.
You ever ran a dresser up a flight of stairs?
maybe.
No, Bob has. Bob carries couches 3 flights of stairs with his teeth.
I don't
That's what he
kiss and
does.
tell, Bob.
Oh,
I do.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on there.
So as the police are rounding these guys up, you see Raphael kind of peek out of the sewer, and he sees his sigh. He had left a sigh on the ground, the one he chucked probably at the light.
He forgot to grab it while they were tying guys
The
up
light
to the rope.
deflected it and threw it back to the ground.
So, so April sees the sigh, grabs it, and puts it in her coat, and he goes, "Damn!" And that's the first thing that made me realize there's no studio involved in this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact that they 3 different times let the turtles swear. Nickelodeon owns the turtles now. That crap would never
Never
happen.
fly. Yeah.
Never happen.
Yeah.
In a Ninja Turtle. Later on in the movie, you get Raphael going, "Bitchin'!"
Yeah.
and all this
Well,
stuff. And I'm just like,
and yeah. So when is it still when he's looking through when he says damn?
Yeah.
Okay. But then like right after that, he's like the last one walking through into their little home in the sewers. And
Yeah.
it's like, damn. Like,
Right.
really
Yeah.
loud.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and then later on, Michelangelo's like, "Ninja kick the damn rabbit" when he's
Yeah.
watching the. Right?
That was
Yeah.
one of my favorite
That
lines.
was good.
It's just like once you get a studio involved, and like what happened in the second one, I want to talk more about that when we do the second one. But then a studio got involved with the second one, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
they weren't allowed to use their weapons.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we get
Right.
this jackass right behind.
Right, you get Vanilla Ice in there.
Go Turtles! Yo, Turtles, go! Yo,
All right, don't break the chair. Go Ninja, go Ninja,
Oh, yeah, go Ninja, go.
Goodwill only
Yeah.
has so many of those chairs, Bob.
So
Oh, so I'll get you another one.
you just got to call out where I got these chairs from.
I'll call my
I see
supplier.
you.
I'll call my supplier next to Roadhouse.
But all of a sudden they got a bunch of parents who are like, "I don't like that he uses nunchucks." And so now you got, I think they use their weapons. Raph does it once and Leo does it once in the second movie. And that's it. The rest of the time they're using their hands or whatever they find laying around, like a yo-yo.
Okay. Hold on.
Parents suck.
The sigh they have, the 2 sighs he has in this
Yeah.
are freaking the dullest pieces of crap ever.
Right.
So you're going to say that it's too violent with that?
And that, what was, I mean,
The only time you see a sword do anything useful is when he's chopping carrots.
Or
We'll
the
get to
pizza.
that. Or the pizza.
yeah. Right. So it's, but apparently once you get those people in there with their big wallets and they're worried about the focus groups and parents and all that
Yep.
stuff, all of a sudden they can't use their weapons anymore and all that
The
stuff.
studios get in and say, all right, how can we make this thing lose money?
Seriously.
That's what killed the Batman
Which
franchise.
it, yeah, and it
first
did.
one.
And
Absolutely.
because the second one was too scary. They couldn't sell Happy Meal toys, and so they fired Tim Burton.
We got to sell toys.
Right.
Yeah.
So they hired Joel Schumacher and fired Tim Burton after the second one.
Yeah. They had no problem with a lot of big, tall statues with
Big dongs.
big dogs and nipples, but God forbid if
Yeah.
Danny DeVito eats a raw fish and Catwoman French kisses a guy, burns him alive.
Okay, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I watched what is that movie?
I don't know. You haven't said it.
Never Ending Story with my kids the other night.
Yeah.
Friggin' the nipples on those statues, dude.
Yeah,
they're like,
brother.
Yeah.
What is going on here? This is like a coming of age story. I guess?
Those
Like,
statues got me through some rough times as a teenager.
I was just gonna say April O'Neil in this movie was.
They were the first things that were landed in your spank bank.
I
Apparently.
was just gonna say April O'Neil's brawless chest in this movie was spank bang for all the teenagers.
That's right. Follow the turtles. We start to finally see them in the light a little bit, and they get into their sewer hideout, and that's where we see Splinter for the first time, which is the giant rat that is their master, their leader, their trainer, their
Father figure.
father figure slash Mr. Miyagi slash whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Yoda.
Uncle
The Yoda,
He was like Yoda.
the Uncle Ben,
Yeah.
all of those things. And he starts giving them a lecture about, you must at all times remain a ninja and make sure you're not seen. And he's like having
Use the force.
all that stuff. Wax on, wax off.
Right.
And giving them this
Turtle
speech
wax only.
about meditating and all that. And this whole time, Michelangelo is trying to order a pizza
Yeah.
on the sewer payphone.
You better not put anchovies on that.
Like they won't put anchovies. The whole time I'm thinking like they won't put anything on it if you don't
You don't
order.
ask.
If you don't
Yeah.
ask for it, they're not going to do it. Like,
Where
I
you
think
order-
this guy wants anchovies. Hold on, there you go. Get this guy anchovies.
And it's from Domino's. You're not even getting the pizza, bro.
Yeah, like the shit.
They're not going to remember to put the
that was
garlic
like-
on the edges.
You'd be lucky if they remember to put the cheese on it.
That was
Seriously.
crappy Domino's back then.
Okay, I think we're missing the point. He ordered pizza on a sewer
That's normal,
payphone.
James.
Why is there a payphone in the
Well,
sewer?
that's all they could grab.
How do you
what
think
about
the plumbers
workers
make
that work-
calls?
Yeah. What about
Plumbers
the
make calls.
what about the workers
That's
in the
how
sewer?
Kurt calls me.
How confused was the payphone installation? Yeah, so I installed that sewer payphone.
You
That's
want me to
done.
put that where?
But
New
you know, I was
York,
just
man.
wondering under what circumstance would
Wait,
Wait,
might
why are
have
you
ever
some,
calling
need
it
to
a sewer
yeah, we
payphone?
might have some turtles down here that want to order pizza.
You never know.
Never know.
You keep
plumbers got to
calling
make a collect call. You got to have a payphone.
keep calling it a sewer payphone when you say you installed
Bobby
it.
might be down in the sewer.
Okay,
Oh gosh.
All right.
just a little bit odd to me. There's moments in this movie where it maybe as a kid I loved it, but now it's just a little cringe. And I don't think I feel that way about the entire movie, but I think there are moments of it where you can see the cracks of time.
Yep.
For me, part of it was this scene here where Splinter's delivering this speech, and all of a sudden, the music comes on, and they're just dancing for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ninjutsu, and I'm like, why are we doing this? This is stupid.
Yeah. It was kind of like,
They're trying
What are we
way too
doing?
hard.
yeah. I was confused about that part. But I will say, Lauren, my wife, she said that she has never seen a movie this bad.
Oh,
And
really?
she would
You're
not.
kidding.
I guarantee
Yeah.
your wife's probably watch every shitty Hillary Duff Disney movie.
So I'm not arguing here. I'm just saying this. I'm just relaying a message.
Okay.
But she did. She
thought
was
Firebirds
literally
was great.
sitting watching.
Of course it's great. It's Nick Cage, isn't it?
Sorry.
She's my friend. Sorry. She's sitting there watching it, and like in the when they have like the intro for the Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
and it has the music going, and it's kind of like the video game-esque music. She's
Yeah.
sitting there like bobbing along. And I'm like, yeah, literally. I'm like, how are you saying this is a horrible movie? You're sitting here dancing to it, and she's like, it's got a good beat. But then she's like, this movie sucks.
She, not just sucks. She said it was the worst movie she's ever seen.
She said, and you know what she thought about Last Starfighter?
Yeah.
She said she would rate Last Starfighter 10 out of 10 based on how bad this movie, she thought this
Oh
movie
my
was.
God, that's a strong take from Lauren.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
That's a hot.
Like,
yeah.
she would have
That's
punched
hot
out a
take.
window
Yeah.
instead of watch this.
So we see Donatello skateboarding through the sewer around a bunch of trash and garbage, and meets up with Mikey, who's sitting under a grate in the sidewalk waiting for the pizza guy.
Waiting for his pizza.
Pizza guy's got 30 seconds, okay?
Now, is Donatello the one with the blue?
Purple.
Oh my gosh.
Leonardo's blue.
Leonardo. So it was Donatello who's sitting next to Mikey?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't
'cause
know who's
the blue and
who
the
is what color?
No, the blue and the purple was I thought it was Leonardo because I thought it was
Purple?
blue.
Okay, all right.
Because the colors were off. Like, first of all, I
Are you
know
colorblind?
no,
Do you want to talk about this?
but
We can get you one of those classes.
they're sitting here and you can see the speckle of the coloring from when they painted it.
Yes.
Which I didn't know this is an indie film, so they get a little bit of a pass, but at the
Yes.
same time, I'm assuming these were hand painted.
There were some moments for sure.
They should have cleaned that up a little.
Maybe your
Yeah.
television just sucks.
Maybe. I'm cheap and I buy from Walmart.
The pizza guy.
But
The
at least
pizza
I don't
guy
get my
shows
haircut
up.
there.
And interesting note for those who don't know, a lot of people probably know this, but the guy that shows up, that's the pizza guy, is the same guy in the Michelangelo suit. So the
Oh.
pizza guy is
A
Michelangelo.
lot of these guys did double duty with
They
the
did.
turtle suits.
Yeah. And
What
so
was it, like 47th and an 8th or something for the
40,
street?
yeah, 122nd,
120s, yes.
122nd and an 8th. You're standing on it, pal. And he looks down. I used to deliver pizzas. If I'd ever gone somewhere and a sewer monster was like sliding, because basically that's what they are to
Yeah.
this guy.
Yeah.
A
Sliding
$10
a $10
bill
bill
up to me, like, it bothered me more that he slid the pizza down sideways.
Oh, I was like, all those toppings are gone, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And then
Pizza.
he said it's $13. I'm like, $13 for shitty Domino's pizza in 1990?
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
that was expensive.
we can get two
Even in New
mediums for
York.
$10 right now.
Right.
He's like, you're 2 minutes late,
Domino's
dude.
is like, how many can we give you away for free?
Yeah. Please take our pizza.
And one of the most often quoted lines in the movie comes out from Mikey at this point. Says, "Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza."
I liked that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Remember when Domino's used to have a 30 minutes or it's free?
Yep.
Yeah, Mom told me a funny story about you in that.
What's that?
You would literally give the delivery driver hell if it was past. You would
Yeah.
watch the clock.
I would be on it, bro.
Timer going.
I was like, pizza guy's got 30 seconds. just like Michelangelo.
That's awesome.
They got rid of that promo because they were giving away too many pizzas.
To you.
To me. I think I ruined that for the whole country.
Pizza, just Antioch Domino's is
That's
never
right.
gonna forget
For the
that.
whole country, I ruined it.
Just
Almost bankrupt us.
Just like I ruined Video Empire.
So Raphael leaves. He puts on his costume to go outside into the real
Oh
world.
my gosh. He puts a
Humphrey
trench
Bogart.
coat on and a hat.
Yeah.
You freaking
What's the big
Mask.
deal?
it doesn't
Mask on.
cover that you're a big green monster.
No
Pretty
shoes.
well.
Three-toed feet.
Yeah,
Jacked
huge.
calves.
It's just New
Yeah.
York, guys. It's New York City. Come on, this guy's walking around like.
Hey, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Hunchback.
Look at this guy.
I just bumped into some green guy. Whatever. Forget about it.
Happens all the time.
Yeah,
Hey,
what
I'm
are you-
walking here.
Yeah. I think that was a big, great turtle. You're going to LaGuardia, right?
That's right. No, that's why I kind of love that, because in a minute when Raph gets hit by the cab, the taxi driver, the New York cabbie, is just not phased at all.
Yeah.
It's New York.
Right? I think
He
it's a
was a
giant
big
turtle in a trench coat, but
Yeah.
also proves
See it
his
every day.
It also proves his costume is trash because
Yeah.
in 1 second of time, the taxi cab driver knew exactly what.
I only caught a glimpse, but I'm pretty sure it was a giant green
was
turtle.
a giant
in
green
trench
turtle?
coat.
That's right.
I think his name's Donatello or Raph or something.
He goes to see Critters. He does not like the movie. His review is a bad movie. Full stop. I think when he walks
I think it was, yeah. At least full stop.
this stuff.
of that. A guy, two kids snatch a purse from a lady because it's a movie and there's a good guy around. Someone's going to commit a crime. It's a rule. And so they snatch the purse. Raphael trips them as they run past. All he has to do is flash his sai like it's a gun
Yeah.
to these guys.
Like, ah?
And they're like, oh, crap, a pointy thing. And they drop.
Watch out or I'll draw.
That's right. Throws the purse back to the lady and off they go. But they don't get away scot-free because as they run over this wall into the park, this guy jumps out of a tree.
Yeah.
They're just waiting if there's a moment. This is my
Up
moment.
in- does he just stay up in the
just
tree?
sits in the
He
tree.
literally stays up there. This is my moment.
Casey Jones just waits for a crime
just
to happen in
waits
that
Catch 3 or 4
specific
guys
spot.
a week doing
In
this.
his mask. In his hockey mask, waiting there with
Yeah.
his hockey
I don't
sticks
know who was
and cricket
worse.
paddle. And
Steve Amell, crappy Casey Jones in the new Ninja Turtles series, or Elias Cortez and his really crappy hair.
You didn't like Elias?
No, I did. I'm just
Or is
like,
it Elias?
just didn't like the hair.
the hair is terrible.
The hair was
I
bad.
think it's Elias Koteas, but yeah.
Elias Cortez, like
So he was as a kid, he was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
Was Casey Jones.
Is that because he got to rub April's shoulders?
Yes.
and he chopped up his hair.
No.
And he chopped up his vegetables with a katana.
That's right, he did.
Oh, wait. White
jumps
are
up.
listening. No.
That was a crime, you purse snatching pukes, and this is the penalty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he just starts to hockey stick him. He's making hockey jokes as he's beating up
Yeah.
these teenagers.
Yeah.
Right? Beating up minors while cracking jokes. Doesn't get any
Wait, that
funnier
was
than
a
that,
hockey
guys.
stick?
Right?
Class is pain 101.
Classic. In 2 minutes for high sticking, right?
Right.
Well, Raph breaks up the fight. He does not like, not like this. They're just getting what they deserve. He's like, but not like this. Okay. Raphael talks like he's from Brooklyn.
He does.
Okay.
It's like the freaking Godfather. He's like, business is business, but
right.
family is family.
Like,
Here's
I'll
looking,
make you an offer you can't refuse.
here's looking at you.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
I do like some of the dialogue that's in the scene. So Casey then starts to fight Raph because he chases these guys off, and so he
Right.
pulls out these 2 bats. And one of my favorite lines, Raphael catches the bat and he goes, "A Jose Canseco bat?
I love that
Yeah.
line.
Tell me, you didn't pay money for this."
That was good.
It's good stuff. We got a 2-for-1 special. And then he's like, "All right, we're going to switch games to cricket." And he pulls out the cricket.
Nobody watches cricket. No one understands the
You
rules.
got to understand what a crumpet is to understand cricket, right?
Yep.
I'll show you. And they blast Raph.
Yeah.
And it broke the nose of the stuntman.
Are you serious?
When it caved in the mask when he landed in the garbage can. So if you see him when he comes out for a brief second, he's grabbing at his face because the stuntman inside of the mask
Got his nose busted.
busted his nose
Dang.
from that shot. And so I just want to take this moment now, since we're kind of on the subject, to just shout out these guys that were in this movie. You're talking about Josh Pays, David Foreman, Leif Tilden, and Mikalan Sisti. These guys were the dudes. They weren't the voices. Well, Josh voiced and did the suit for Raphael, but the other guys were voiced by somebody else.
Right.
These guys had the hardest job. I watched a documentary about this. They were doing 8-hour days.
Yep.
It's hotter than hell in these things. Like 20 pounds of sweat lost,
Yeah.
soaking into the suit, which was making the suit heavier.
Yep.
Jeez.
And they did double duty because they played other parts in the movie.
Yeah.
too.
Right.
And they couldn't see anything
Yeah.
out of that head, which they said was like being in Grand Central Station because the noises of all the mechanics would be super loud. You got a guy talking in your ear. He's like, it's wearing a tin can on your head in Grand Central Station, and that's what it was
So
like.
where could they see?
Jeez.
Could they see out of the mouth? Is
No,
that-
their mouth was in the mouth.
okay, so the mouth was in the mouth, but it was they see out of the eye.
I'm not sure how. He said it was so narrow a field of vision. These guys are having to do fight choreography, jumps, kicks in a
Everything.
crowded room, complicated things people run. It was like doing it blind. These guys are the heroes of this movie.
They did a really good
great
job.
Yeah, you did a good job.
So mad respect to what these guys had
Yeah.
to do without being able to see a dang thing. It's awesome. And so this guy got his nose busted for his trouble.
Jeez.
Yikes.
But yeah, so ultimately Casey runs off. Raph tries to chase after him, but he gets hit by that taxi cab and is unable to catch him. So now we cut to April's apartment. And God, April's boss follows her to her house a lot.
That was creepy.
That was kind of weird. I thought that was weird.
I thought they were married for a second.
Well,
And
me
then
too.
she
Or
was the
like
boss.
exes or something.
Yeah, I didn't know
right?
whose kid it was for a second.
Right.
Right. And so when you're a kid, I don't think you realize this stuff. But now as an adult, I'm like, why is her boss coming to her house
Yeah.
all the time?
Right. And like just busting in, like following her into the bathroom and everything
Yeah.
else in the house.
He's like
right?
getting ready. He's like, "Here's your shirt."
Yeah, right.
He's got to cut his hair, man. Cut
Exactly.
your hair.
You're going to put a bra on today or?
Seriously.
Duh. Thank
Oh
God
my
she
gosh.
didn't. God
So this is
bless.
where we meet Charles and Danny. So Charles is her boss, the weirdo that comes over to her house at least twice.
And
in
he's
this movie.
like creepy too, because he's that bald, creepy guy you'd imagine doing this sort
That's
of
right.
thing.
Yeah.
And then he's got his son Danny. You guys want to talk about Danny for a second?
Yeah, let's talk about
What'd you guys
Danny.
think of Danny?
Danny's a douche.
Danny's an asshole. That's what Danny is.
Him and Jake Lloyd just share a hot tub together
He was terrible, dude.
in hell.
More like a lava tub.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay, so he wasn't a solid actor for sure.
Garbage. He was a.
It's setting up this thing that Danny is involved in the gang, and so Charles is again something crossing lines, sharing his life struggles with April
In
Yeah.
the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
and
She's like, "Can you hand me the toilet paper?"
Want to wipe
I
for
have to
me?
drive him to school to make sure he goes, and he's won't see. He puts his headphones on. That's what he does when he wants to ignore me.
I would jump out the window to ignore you, Charles.
I'm like Charles. If Charles was my dad, I think I also would have joined a gang and tried to run away from home
And steal radios and
steal
TVs,
radios
yeah.
and all. Especially when they've got arcade machines.
Oh hell
which
yeah!
we'll get to
And-
that.
And skateboard ramps.
All that
and-
stuff.
Are you talking about the Dave and Buster's Cobra Kai combo?
Yes.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We're getting there.
So, all right. So she goes to report from City Hall. She leaves after Charles there. We see that Danny takes $20 out of her purse while he's there to prove he's a ne'er-do-well. She leaves to go to City Hall, does a report, or rather tries to do an interview of the police chief there live, and just keeps asking about the Foot Clan and all these claims that there's this like ninja gang underground. She just seems to know everything that's going on.
Right.
But no one else believes her.
Kind of like, wait, are you the leader of the Foot Clan? April?
Right.
Don't ask how I know this, but there's an ancient Japanese ninja thief clan that's operating under the city. Just asking for
That came from Japan.
That came from Japan. There's two Japanese guys in the whole thing.
It came from there.
I came from there.
They decided, like, all right, we're done here. We're going to go to America.
We imported it like it was a Honda and just
It's a Kawasaki, Yamaha.
The Ninja Turtles are watching. They have television down in the sewer. They're watching April's report. Like they apparently like to watch the 4 o'clock news, and they're.
they gotta know what's going
Yeah,
on.
it was midday, dude.
And that's what I'm saying. And even Mikey's like, she's so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to add
what
this
would you
to?
have said at 14 years old?
But he's a turtle, and like,
Yeah.
are we going to add this to our interspecies lust movies
No.
like Howard the Duck?
That was literally what I thought of.
Only
It was
if
like,
they
are
did
we
it.
gonna have some scene where him and April are sitting like behind a curtain or something, about to like get it on?
And then we have to find out if turtles have wieners. Because
Surprise, they do.
Because I'm not even sure how turtles.
Is that going to be the Patreon?
Okay,
Wiener
so I've
story?
got a story about turtles.
No. In the Patreon.
Okay.
Okay. You can tell us
Keep
the turtle
listening
story in the
and then
Patreon.
subscribe.
That'll
Let
go
us know
right,
what turtles-
right along
I've
with
got some
Have
turtles.
songs, please.
It's
squirrel
about
penis story.
It's about turtle sex.
See
Why you
kids
pay
when,
the big bucks.
Mommy
They don't
and
need
Daddy love each
KY
other.
jelly.
This was funny. It intercuts this scene while April's giving her interview. We also see that someone else is watching her, and so
Yeah.
we see Shredder staring at what is a wall of televisions that it looks like
It was
people have built for him.
Stupidest.
Well, and you would think
Right.
with all the TVs they're stealing, he could have got all of them that worked.
Like good ones,
Right.
Well, we see why
like-
not all of them did work though.
He's like, build me a wall. Stack all of these TVs in here. I need a wall of televisions.
Well, he had a number of brands. You could tell the one on the left that was cutting out, that was a JVC. You could tell the one that was a Magnavox on top. Sony was the perfect picture. You know.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, some of these don't work. I don't care. I would like those too. I want those. I want the wavy ones. Get those in
it's
the middle.
okay. I'm gonna throw a spike into one of the TVs every time I'm upset.
I just want to watch all of the televisions we have at the same time. Is that
Different
too hard to
channels?
ask?
Different channels?
No, same channel.
Same channel.
Okay,
I
I
want
have
this
to
to
know.
look like Best Buy so I can pick out the best screen.
Put the broken ones in there too.
He's chopping lettuce while he's watching.
shredding his
Cardboard
pulled
shredding.
pork. Just
Shredder.
Back before the war, I was a saucer in San Antonio.
He sees April talking about the Foot Clan, and he's like, "Silence her.
She knows.
She knows too much. I don't know how she knows anything, but she knows too much. Silence her." And so the chief, before she can leave to be silenced by the Foot Clan, the chief of police pulls April into his office,
and then we get the chief trope here.
gotta have it.
He did a
It's not
good
even.
job of
It's not
doing
even
the
a
trope.
cop movie.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was great.
I was really excited when he started yelling.
Are you trying to tell me how to do my job?
I got the mirror further up my cherry Holden.
I thought the guy was great. I wish he'd had more scenes and more
Doing
screen time.
cartwheels at my cocoa factory.
That's right. She goes, "Tie me." So she gets out of there in a minute. He's screaming at her. She goes to the subway to get home, misses the train. And of course, what happens?
The Foot Clan.
The Foot
Clan
Dude.
shows up.
And her response is great.
And then we get Donatello, so that the Foot Clan that delivers the messenger is Donatello out of costume
Yeah.
as
Oh,
a
okay.
Foot Clan member.
Am I late on my Sony payments?
Yeah.
Love that line.
Foot
Okay,
Clan-
that was a
okay.
little racist.
No, but they tell her that they've got a message for her, and she's like, am I like late on my Sony plan?
So this-
Well,
I'm
because
not
they're
nervous at
Japanese,
all.
that's why. Oh,
I
am I
know,
late on my
but
Sony payments?
I'm not nervous at all that you guys are all like here and could probably rape me and kill me. Like you're in the freaking subway by yourself. What do you think's gonna happen?
She's terrified of Sam Rockwell. In the first half, she's attacked. And in the second half, she's like, the sarcastic, I'm an action hero, and I'm going to make wisecrack comments to these bunch of guys wearing these costumes.
When there's 30 of you, I'm not worried. When there's
Okay,
like
but
5,
so
I
if
am.
like 30 Italians had come in, she'd be like, "What? Did I not pay for my pizza last week? Hey, what did we forget about it?
Forget about it. Get out of here.
I'll give you a
Same
gabagool." What?
Grab the
I would have
cannoli.
made the same comment. Too.
That's how he knows it's racist.
It's not right. I know, it's truth. It's not racist.
Truth.
What am I late on my Sony payments? Yeah, so she gets
Just because
knocked
it's a
out.
stereotype doesn't mean it's not true, huh?
Yeah.
The Foot knocks her out, and right then we see the Sai, because she pulls out the Sai to try and defend herself, but they disarm her immediately,
Yeah.
knock her out in one hit, and we see Raph's hand come out, grab the Sai because he'd followed her, right? Which we should
Right.
say, in broad daylight in his costume that he had on.
He's He's like against the wall
Oh,
with his
yeah.
own theme music.
And he comes out and dispatches all 6 of these foot soldiers in short order and carries April into the subway tunnel.
Yep.
And then into the sewer where their hideout is, followed by a Foot Clan member, which they now know. Now the Foot knows where the turtles live in the sewer.
Yep.
This might be like movie stuff, but aren't you not supposed to go on the subway tracks? Isn't there like electrical down
Well,
there?
one of them is, I think.
Yeah, the third rail.
The third rail. Don't touch the third rail.
Oh, but he's a turtle, so he knows.
right.
he's a
So
mutant
turtles don't
turtle,
collect
so-
electricity. I don't know if you knew that, but
Oh, okay.
you could actually daisy chain a bunch of turtles together, and
They're non-conductive.
they're non-conductive.
And if you
Oh.
do enough mutant ones, you can power a whole city.
Oh,
right.
he is a mutant too, so maybe
Yeah.
he just draws power.
He found
That's right. Yeah.
Captain America's serum.
They carry April in, and you brought her here. Yeah, I thought I'd redecorate a couple of throw pillows, a TV news reporter.
That
What
was
do you
funny.
think?
That was good.
I love that. That
Raph's
was
the
good.
best.
Yeah.
By far. And he's always been my favorite turtle. I think it probably started with this movie. But to this day, if I'm ever playing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game, whatever,
Right.
I always pick
too.
Raph.
Like back in the day,
Yeah.
I was always Raphael.
Let's go.
Michelangelo was my second.
There you go. Donatello was mine because he had that reach. You know what I'm talking about with the bow
With
staff?
the bow staff,
Nice.
sure.
Especially the NES Turtles game. The original Nintendo, Donatello was
You
goated
mean
in
like
that game.
this?
Yeah, there you go.
Looking at you, Wolf Den. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Somebody else's merch.
April wakes up. She sees 4 giant turtles and a rat, and she immediately assumes she's died. And that, like, I don't know what she thinks heaven is like, but she looks around and goes, "Oh my God, I'm dead!"
Am I in turtle heaven?
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Ew, guys.
Kung
Sorry.
Fury with the snake. She's like a rat and
Yeah.
Okay.
turtles.
At least she doesn't do what almost every other movie we've covered does. At least she didn't no sell it, right?
That's true. That's
She
true.
tried.
She
Like
didn't.
she woke up, she freaked out.
Why could I
Jumped
dream
up
of
on the
Harrison
coach.
Ford?
Why,
Kept
yeah.
freaking
Why can't I dream
I
of-
like.
Yeah, I
That
like
was a good
that.
line.
Yeah.
But most movies, if this scene had happened, April would have woke up and gone, "Oh, what's up? You guys are Ninja Turtles?"
Okay, but to be like, but seriously, she screams for like 2 seconds, and then she's like, "Y'all want to go get some pizza?" Or
Wow, that's after she gets the backstory.
Yeah, this is the mechanism to get the backstory,
Right.
man.
So she screams, and at the time that the Splinter, the giant, horrific-looking rat, says, "Let me tell you how we got here," she's still upset. By the time the backstory's over, she's G to G, man.
Right.
She's good to go.
Good to go.
You're,
Eiffel
Y'all
Tower.
come get
She's
some pizza.
She's down to clown at that point. You know what I'm saying?
She's like, come get some pizza, y'all.
Wait, what did he say?
nothing.
Off to
You'll
find
catch
out
it in
after.
post.
Boost that in the episode.
There'll be a little hidden gem for you to listen to.
So it,
No,
it,
I
it is
just-
it is backstory time though. Yeah.
I just don't. I wouldn't get done with that story and be like, I feel at ease that you are mutants.
Well, how did Lauren feel when she met you for the first time?
Yeah. She
We played
seemed
Call
okay
of
with
Duty, so I don't know.
mean-
it worked out pretty well. For
Okay.
me.
Well, I mean, to that end, then he wasn't like bringing her down into the sewer and redecorating his
true.
couch with her.
it. No.
That's true.
Okay.
So we do get the backstory from Splinter here. He says, "All right, 15 years." And for those of you that know the Ninja Turtles backstory, it's common. Back in the sewer, we see that he was in New York. He doesn't say anything about his master. We get that part of the backstory later. But he finds these 4 turtles in a ooze can had broken up in the sewer.
Right.
They're crawling through the ooze. He helps them into a little coffee can.
He's the biggest rat you've ever seen before the mutant thing happens.
There's a giant Japanese rat in New York.
They're
Don't ask
different there.
questions. And
Oh, Japanese rat.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's why he already had some
Japanese rat.
mutation
that's right.
from WW2. Take that, England.
Oh my god. He's a
you say-
40-year-old rat.
And you say I'm racist.
Okay.
It's okay. England's white.
The turtles start to grow. He starts to grow. He raises them. I bit my tongue. He raises them, teaches them how to fight.
Yeah.
And essentially is their dad. That's the backstory. And you're right. After that, she's like, "You guys want to come over to my house for
Yeah,
pizza
come get
and
some pizza, guys."
and to do some terrible impressions?" And Michelangelo's
Yeah.
like, "You're in luck because I only do terrible impressions." Right.
And
Very
we,
specific.
by the way, love pizza.
Yeah,
Right.
also that, right? So I do a really bad Stallone and a James Cagney. Is that? And she's like, "Oh,
good?
that gets me hot.
That's
That's
enough.
exactly what I like."
Is that enough to get some pizza?
Hold on. Let me go change into less bra.
You know, it's funny. After you said that, her nipples started to protrude that shirt.
It did.
true.
It's
It's
right.
probably
It did.
right after the Cagney bowl impressions.
I think it was before that too. It's like, what do you like on your pizza? Oh, just a regular flies, stink bugs.
That's right.
Oh, dude. It's a way
Yeah.
to woman's heart right
That
there.
was funny. She was like, looks at him and she's like, no, I'm just kidding.
Pepperoni, man. What do you think?
Pepperoni, sausage, bacon, cheese.
They leave. They go back home, and they find that the place is destroyed.
Yep.
Okay, Splinter has been kidnapped by the Foot. Total devastation. The place is absolutely trash. Even for being in a sewer, it's even more disgusting and wrecked than it already was.
Right.
And Raph lets out this yell. Whoa! With this like spin around the camera, and I actually really liked that.
That was a
because-
cool
did
shot,
like that,
actually. I was
yeah. I
impressed
did
to
like
see
that
that in 1990.
Right.
They didn't do a lot of spin around shots like that.
Not only that, but most kids' movies, especially like studio-fied kids' movies,
Right.
skip over that kind of raw emotion and
Right.
things like that, right? And so this is just another thing that to me that's like, yeah, this is clearly free of all that nonsense.
Yeah. No, I really liked that shot. It reminded me of like what they did with the Matrix, but and they were like, I remember watching something on the Matrix, like this is the first time we did some sort of 360. I'm like, yo, TMNT.
Yeah, man, Raphael did that back in the sewer.
I hate to break this to you, but
Yeah.
there's a turtle that I know. He already did this.
So they all go back over to April's apartment and they're like, Splinter.
Okay,
I know,
but
that
they're
was
all-
like the worst. He was just like,
she opens the door.
Splinter.
So they get to her apartment and apparently knock on the door. She opens the door. They're at the doorknob level. They're like, Splinter. She's like literally,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what the
Leonardo
hell are they
was
doing
like,
down there?
Leonardo went back into like full toddler
Yeah.
fetal position mode, just like Splinter.
And they
By the way, do you have more pizza?
spend the night at April's, and then in the morning, her creepy boss comes back over to her apartment again.
Yeah.
Rolls in.
And she's like, you guys have to, before she can even finish the sentence, they disappear. These
They
four
gone.
gigantic turtles. I loved this because it was like, oh yeah, they're ninjas. Like, of course
Yeah.
they could just
Of course, they're just
disappear.
I really wish they would have just been in their shells. Yeah. and just like,
guys
just
are
like,
like
there's just
furniture.
4 shells on the
boss.
floor.
Oh, you redecorated.
Yeah, yeah.
I like these end
These are new
tables.
stools that I got.
But okay, it can work.
It's a nice new ottoman you got there. Kind of, I like the turtle motif.
Oh yeah, giant turtle shells are in this season. I don't know if you knew about that, Charles,
That
but
would have been great.
I'm super into animal carcasses. It's the way I decorate.
The new couch
You know,
is coming
What a
next
lovely
week.
room of death you have.
In fact, I invented this. Actually, I think I'm the first one ever.
Surprised you didn't
That's
know
how I
that.
find my zen.
That's right.
Watch me spin one.
I feel like in the future everybody's gonna be decorating with turtle carcasses, but I want to be first. Okay,
These are the greatest turtle
this
carcasses.
is the greatest thing.
Japan knows it too.
I was really impressed. Everyone in Japan, they all say the same thing. We wish we had thought of the turtle carcasses, but they can't do it first because I've already done it. So I was really impressed with their hiding ability until we see Michelangelo just under the table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like his giant body is just
chilling under the table.
Danny catches, Charles's kid is there, catches him in the mirror, and he's literally just lounging under
like a,
there.
What's up?
Yeah, like a Burt Reynolds. Hey, ladies.
Right.
In the time it takes Danny to turn around and look in person, he vanishes.
Yep.
Another reason why he sucks.
And also, Charles is just about to open the shower and see Donatello, who also immediately vanishes and gets himself up against the ceiling. These guys, I love that they showed the turtles as being capable.
That is a dirty tub.
Yeah, that's what she said. She didn't want him to see her dirty, nasty
Right.
tub.
Yeah, dirty tub.
I know. That's a sign.
You know what? Everything in this
You know
movie
that
was
there was
grungy,
a-
though.
Yeah,
There was a-
it's
It was,
New
it
York.
was like
It's
the
New York.
late. It was like the late '80s, early '90s. Everything was
right.
grungy.
I mean, they nailed it. We talk about how
Yeah.
they nail the future in movies. They nailed New York City future.
It did look
What's
really
different
dirty
today?
and lived
Right.
in.
Everything
Right.
was terrible. It looked like she lived in a disgusting building from the outside
Yeah.
in a terrible neighborhood. There's garbage everywhere. This is pre-Giuliani New York.
Yep.
That's how it looked.
Yeah.
So-
Post Giuliani, New York looks like that too.
I understand. Well, I know, but I'm not a big Giuliani
to
guy.
be fair.
But I'm just saying, like
fair.
early '90s and '80s New York.
oh yeah, it was
trashy.
terrible. It was just it was worse than what it is today.
But
Absolutely.
just one more thing on the bathtub, though. There was a turtle that was standing in her bathtub that lives in the sewer.
I was talking about the
So maybe
rust.
that's why it was dirty.
I was talking about the rust water all over
okay.
the tub.
Yeah.
Well, she can't. I mean, she's just a reporter.
Yeah, they just touch pizza with their hands and eat it, and they live in the sewer.
Right.
No one ever wants to talk about that.
Oh God.
I bet you they don't get sick.
No, they
so
don't.
gross.
So Danny, after leaving here, they have an argument in the car, Charles and him, and he runs out of the car. He gets out at a stoplight and he's like, "I'm out of here, Dad. You don't love me."
ya.
And we
I gotta
follow
go to the
him.
'90s place.
That's right.
I'm gonna go to Dave and Buster's.
We follow him to what I called Pleasure Island because it's just like the Pinocchio place.
Yeah,
You guys
it
ever
is.
see
Yeah, it
Pinocchio, where the kids are smoking cigars and playing pool and all that stuff,
shooting
and cigarettes
pool,
and all
playing
that.
video games, skateboarding.
My daughter
on some
looked at me.
track.
during
They got
that
all that
scene. She was
stuff.
like, "Why are they smoking?" I go, "I can't. I don't know."
Dude,
They're not just smoking. They got a drunk dude passed out on top of the arcade
they're
cabinet.
drinking.
Yeah.
Yep.
How did he get up there? I want to know that story.
That was a game called Bounce the Homeless Man.
And you got arcade machines. You got a skate park, an unplugged electric guitars. You got a guy slapping the bass, making no noise at all.
The bass.
slap it a bass.
And there's a casino. There's
Yeah.
Skeet Ulrich was in that scene. I don't know if you saw him in there. A very young Skeet Ulrich was at the roulette table.
Oh, I gotta go back and watch it.
Oh yeah,
Pre Billy Loomis.
pre Billy Loomis, Skeet Ulrich. And then Sam Rockwell is a very young Sam Rockwell comes out and he's like, I'd given the new guys a tour, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, I know you want to be in this degenerate gang. Like, whatever you want to do, you can do.
You got cigarettes?
Yeah, regular or menthol.
Okay.
He just tosses the box to some other kid.
Carton. You're
So
like,
first of all,
where's
I think-
Dennis Hopper?
I think if you're gonna have a gang of people that can do, fight like ninjas, you probably don't want to have them smoking.
Smoking gives you superpowers.
They're gonna be like,
It's the 80s.
Every time they throw a punch.
They'll sound like Greg from Last Starfighter.
seriously.
Cough it up, John. We're never going to make it into the Foot Clan. Okay?
And secondly, this was the 90s location I've ever seen.
Oh, hell yeah, it was.
So growing up, we went to this huge church in Minnesota, and my sister was in the senior high, and they had freaking arcade machines all around. They literally had, it looked like this, without the casino part of it.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
It was like the 90s thing you could ever. And all I wanted to do when I was like 8 years old, like 9 years old, was like go and be there.
Yeah, man.
And then I grew up to the point where I could be there, and it wasn't the 90s anymore. And so they didn't have that.
No, that's how like the arcades used to look, man, minus
Yeah.
the drinking and smoking.
No, that like I was like, did I just step back in time?
Except if you went to Chuck E. Cheese.
They nailed it.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
And then we have a new character step out called Tatsu. And Tatsu was the scariest dude in this movie. He was scarier than Shredder or anybody
Yeah.
else
Yeah,
in
he
this
was.
movie.
He was more intimidating than Shredder
Yes,
for
he
sure.
For sure. This kid bumps into him. I thought he was going to literally decapitate him.
Yeah.
He just goes, go, play.
And all he did was hand signals too. He just like go.
Yeah.
And
He's probably-
apparently he didn't do his own voice. He
No,
was
he's
voiced by
dubbed.
some white guy.
Yeah, he was dumb.
Oh, okay. That's
Sir,
not
you don't
cool.
sound Japanese enough. We're gonna bring in a white guy that can do it better. That's probably
that's
what
not
happened,
cool.
dude.
Honestly.
That explains his Japanic attack.
Well,
later.
everybody, even Shredder was voiced by somebody else.
Yeah, so was Shredder.
Yeah.
And so
Sounded a little punny to me.
all of a sudden you hear this this gong go off, gong, and you're like,
Lunch.
oh,
Yeah.
no, it's not lunch. Shredder, it's a Shredder meeting. Everybody gathers in the part of the abandoned factory that is like got tiers, so everybody can see, and so that all the teenagers are on the second level, and the first level, and the third level, and Shredder walks out, and they're all sitting there like, oh yes, Shredder, what is he gonna have for us today?
I don't want to sound mean to people and their body structure, but he was the most. He looked like a dildo with spikes.
Rib
He
for your
was-
pleasure.
He was a kind of a toothpick.
He was a toothpick.
Yeah,
he
he
didn't even
was-
fill up the arms.
He didn't fill out the arms.
He just didn't fill out the.
No, it was
suit
like
very
Barry
well.
Bostwick in the
so-
Megaforce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tetsu was bigger.
I wasn't trying
supposed to be skin tight, and it's not.
Right.
Like I was waiting for Johnny Lawrence to come out the back and just kick him in the nuts and watch him fly through the television screens. And everyone's like talking. And he looks at it and goes, "Quiet!"
He had the 80s Melanie Griffith power suit shoulder pads on underneath his.
It just,
you know,
he just like I'm sure he's a talented person underneath, but in
Yeah.
that suit, you just look like. an idiot.
but in an indie film, maybe they just couldn't have their
Put
guys
muscle,
in it.
stuff the suit, put muscle pads
Something.
on. Do something. Like the guy looks like he just went to, like he should be shopping at the Baby Gap.
Well, he needs help with it. He needs help with it. He can't even dress himself. He rolls out in the cape, and Tatsu has to come over and fix his cape.
You gotta fix it.
Yeah, and he had trouble getting it off the one set of spikes.
Just go to
Wisconsin.
They could have just went to Wisconsin and got a girl out of a bar in Wisconsin to fill the suit up. Come on.
It was basically.
She would have been stronger.
He's like,
Or
he
Brooklyn.
gets
Go to Brooklyn.
He gets the cape, and he's like, "You always do this. Spikes have to be out. Spikes out."
Yeah.
All right, Tatsu fixes his spikes, and then they bring over this initiate who's going to get his hood and be a member of the Foot Clan for the first time, and he puts this hood on him with his giant razor blades.
Yeah.
Sticking out, and I'm like, is this the final part of the initiation? If you survive
Stick it in your eyes.
being hooded,
I don't know what you're doing.
As long as it doesn't, the spikes don't catch your jugular, you're in.
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, so it's real easy. You've pretty much made it, kid. All you got to do is just go up there. He's going to put this hood on you. If you don't die, you're in.
If your neck doesn't end up like a shredded pork butt,
He's like, what do you mean if I don't die? I thought I already finished
I think they
everything."
call the hood, though. You keep calling it a hood. I think they call it a sock.
A sock, whatever.
The Foot Clan.
Oh.
Sorry.
Hey, man, this is a song. Do you think
someone else is cruising for a.
Do you think the Foot Clan gets massages?
Oh.
Kurt's going to listen to this and be so pissed.
I'm here for you, Kurt. I defended you.
They probably go for petties.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
So Shredder gives a speech, right? He says, "There are new enemies, freaks of nature who want to cause trouble. We will crush these creatures, these turtles." And everyone in all the teenagers are just nodding. Yes, we will crush the turtles. And I just wanted one kid to be like, "Did he say turtles?"
Like, what are snappers or
There was nobody that was just like,
sliders or what do we got?
"I think
here?
my guy just said that we're going to crush some turtles. Can I get a clarification on that?" Everyone's just like, "Yes, we will kill the turtles." Like, what?
and then we'll have soup.
What I think
I'd be the one kid be like, "I have questions."
sir.
Just want to make sure I heard you right.
Did you say turtles? You know how much better Shredder would have been if he was voiced by Nick Cage?
Yeah.
There are these turtles in the sewer, and we're going to crush them. And then we're going to get on my plane called Con Air. We're going to go to the Rock and break Sean Connery out of prison.
That's
Then we're going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
That's right.
In Joe Biden's butthole.
Why should I always go back to Joe's butthole with you?
You made it happen.
How?
You said it, Joe Biden's butthole.
What were you going to say? You had something to say.
Okay, what I wanted to happen after this is all the kids just go out and start killing a bunch of turtles in like ponds and stuff. And
he
they're like,
didn't
we
give
got
them-
some more.
got
And he's like,
turtles.
We
Gotcha, turtle. Yeah.
right. We did what you wanted, sir.
That's what you wanted.
here's all the dead turtles.
I just dump us.
Here's a dump
You imagine
truckload.
Dolph Lundgren was in this movie, just the turtles on the necklace. Yeah, they really got beautiful heads. Wow, I like
And now
that.
Shredder says to Tatsu, "Perhaps I should have given them more information."
Nice bird.
That's
No, too much. Let me summarize.
right. Let me sum up. All right, so we cut back to April's building. They're upset about Splinter, but they don't know where to go or where to find him or where to look. So Raph and Leo have a fight, an argument, and Raph goes up to the roof to blow off some steam.
Oh, this
right?
is a trope alert.
Yeah, hit me with it. What's the trope?
Guy goes up to the roof to clear his head and starts doing ninja moves in the air.
Like
Karate
Steven
chopping.
Seagal in Hard to Kill.
Yeah, with symphony music in the background.
It looks,
right.
It looks
Life is
like
tough, but I kick the air and I feel better.
that should be a bumper sticker. That's right. It looked like in Firebirds when Nick Cage does like the air kick after he's like, "My friend," and he does a kick. Second time
Yes.
I reference that, but he kicks in the air. That's like what he does. This little like.
Yeah,
He
for
looks
sure.
so stupid. I'm just
And
like,
we see
what are you
Casey
doing?
Jones is watching him from another building.
Jones doing?
He picks up like the binoculars that my
Bob.
grandpa had. And he's just like,
I only like to catch criminals from very high places.
let me creep on this guy.
He's like, I sit in a tree and I wait for crime. And now I'm
Sitting
up,
in a fire escape.
I'm up
with
on this
whatever.
building. I'm on this building waiting for crime to happen. He only will find criminals from high places.
He's not Batman.
He's like,
Batman's day off, so
Batman's
Casey
day
Jones is in. Casey's at the bat for Batman.
Casey's watching Raph punch the air from like 4 buildings away.
That's an impressive ninja hitting the air.
That's right.
it's like I like to watch turtles from the high buildings.
French fry potatoes.
Of course, the Foot Clan shows up and beats Raphael within an inch of his life. I mean, he gets his shots in,
Raph
but
just
for the
gets
most
beat
part,
up.
he just gets beat
Yeah,
up.
like this whole movie.
The only time that the Foot Clan wins any kind of fight in this entire movie. The only time. And they needed 80 of them to do it.
Yeah.
To beat one turtle.
That's fair.
So my question is, has there ever been a more disposable henchman in fiction than a Foot Clan soldier?
Aren't they all kids?
I don't know if they're all kids, but
Teenagers, early 20s.
whether it's the cartoon, the video games, the movies, or whatever, the henchmen that there's the main guys like Bebop, Rocksteady, Shredder, whatever. But all of the Foot Clan soldiers are like the most dispensable bad guys in the history of fiction.
Yeah,
I will
think
say-
so. Outside, well,
I did find it
the
cool
Hands
when
of
they
Steel
just,
one guys come close.
I
But
did find it cool when they all poured into the room.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
all just punching bags.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
But I will say in Venture Bros,
Yeah.
the Monarch, all of his henchmen,
Yeah.
like
they're terrible.
they just get like shredded.
All right, so we'll take the Monarch's henchmen
All right.
into account, but the foot soldiers, this is the only time they ever win anything. They
Yeah.
needed 80 people to take down one
What about
turtle.
the stormtroopers? Those
The
guys
stormtroopers,
get destroyed no matter what, or they just
They're
they're standing in the hallway. Vader walks by and goes, just crushes the guy's neck.
if we want to
didn't
one of
even
these
use the
days
Force.
do a top 5, we'll do a ranking of the most. We'll do a draft of the most
disposable.
dispensable or disposable henchmen in movies.
Bob the Goon just gets shot.
I think the Foot Clan soldiers are going to be a #1 draft pick. Okay,
they are going to be
yeah.
up there for sure.
seriously.
Or what about all the guys in Rambo?
That's fair.
That's fair
Yeah.
too, but that's kind of more like not as recognizable. Those are just random soldiers.
That's
you know what
true.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true.
But anyway,
But you
just
could
my,
recognize all the stormtroopers.
just my thoughts. The stormtroopers are a thing. The stormtroopers.
All right.
Okay.
I got you.
All right, there is this great cut that they keep cutting back and forth between the turtles downstairs and April going, "Are you sure Raph's okay?" "Yeah, he likes it." And it cuts to him just getting pummeled
That was a
upstairs.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought you were talking
funny.
about when he comes right through the roof.
which is right now. So right after that, he just crashes through the
I'm
skylight.
sure he'll show up any minute.
Yeah. Right through. And it's like not Raphael, it's like a body pillow. It's like the smushiest dummy. Because when they run up to it, they accidentally like lean on it too hard and just smush Raphael
I missed that.
to the ground.
We're giving him CPR. Just-
It's like a pillow. It's like My Buddy, but the turtle edition. And then we get, well, actually, I almost said we get a fight between the turtles. This is the first time anybody besides Raph has fought in the entire movie. We don't see them fight in the beginning. It's in the dark. After that, it's Raph every fight until this fight.
Yeah.
45 minutes in before we see Mike, Leo, or Donnie fight anybody. And so they all line up like, all right, here we're going to get a fight. But instead we get a nunchuck off.
I did like that.
I did.
Chuck
yeah,
off.
I did like
Is that what you
Chuck
call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. It was almost as good as
And it was very
Fastball.
nice of everybody to. And it was very nice of everybody to just sit around and wait for them to have their nunchuck off before the fight
It
starts.
was awesome. They did some serious fan damage.
No, it was good.
They're like, not yet, Ferb.
They finally have their battle. The fight starts. The ninjas are just wiping the floor with these guys. They're up in April's apartment still at this point, and they do this thing called Wheel of Fortune, dude, and they spin Michelangelo
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
He's got his nunchucks, and he's just taking dudes out, spinning in a circle.
Oh, they're flying in the air like cartoon
That
characters.
was
It's
awesome.
like, why are you still running up to him?
But then
I got him.
Tatsu's there, and he yells, "Besettos now!" which is like these ninja axes, right?
And you got the guy from Costco runs up.
The guy runs in. How would you like to be the Besetto guy? Like, that's your job.
Just holding
He's
this
got
thing for
10 axes like this, and he's just got to wait until they need him.
They show us
I got him, guys.
a side cut of him waiting in the hallway, like
That's what I'm saying. He runs like, oh, I hope they need these soon.
This is getting
Because
kinda
you're
heavy.
just you're toast if anybody comes by.
Yeah.
Finally, they call for him. He runs in. Oh, thank God! Here he's handing out the ninja axes. I would hate to be that. That's like the guy that's got to carry the flag in the American Revolution
Yeah.
battles. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
The Civil War.
you're just screwed.
Just
Yeah.
carry the flag, drum the drum.
Everyone knows where you are.
Right.
right? Like,
Use
Well,
that
we know there's a
flag
guy there.
yeah,
Use that flag as a javelin for freedom.
That's right.
snipers aim at the guy.
Respect to those guys in the guys that actually carried the flag, but
Absolutely.
not the Bassetto guy.
Well, only American ones.
The Bassetto guy in the Foot Clan.
He was just waiting in the hall.
That job sucks.
Yeah.
Why do I got to be the one that carries the axes? Because, dude, you bumped into Tatsu while we were training.
You pissed him off.
Now you got to be the axe guy.
Freddie might have tripped over Shredder's cloak, but you hit.
You tried to cut your apple on Shredder's shoulder when
Yeah.
he wasn't looking.
How many blow-up dolls do you think Shredder went through?
Oh,
I don't. Okay. Now they've got the Bassettos. They start chopping the floor because they're missing the turtles, and the axes keep hitting the floor. Chop, chop, chop until more foot soldiers. It's like, I don't think this is really a good time for your friends to drop in.
yeah.
Boom. Floor falls out. Now they're in the antique store underneath.
I want to see the Mythbusters do an episode where they're like, how much would we have to chop the floor before?
Before the floor caves in.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot, I'm guessing.
This is like the crappiest fight scene when they reach the antique store.
Yeah.
Like the
What's hard to see anything.
and
Yeah.
the camera angles are terrible.
Yeah.
and it was just very.
They didn't light it well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it
Just,
wasn't
the choreograph. In not saying the choreograph upstairs and on the roof was phenomenal.
Yeah.
but when it got to and then Casey Jones was just doing this.
Well, the turtle costumes were pretty cumbersome.
What's wrong with you?
The turtle costumes were pretty cumbersome. From what I read, they actually would shoot these because they had to move slower in them.
Yeah.
They would shoot the shots at 22 frames a second, so that when it played at 24 frames a second, it would seem tighter and faster.
Oh.
But not so tight and fast that it was like obviously sped up, where
Right.
you can see when people do that.
That's smart because usually they do it too slow.
right.
And then it's like
It's not a knock on the
Yeah.
turtles.
Yeah.
It's or any of the fight choreography. It's just
No.
like it just
No.
wasn't.
There was one really good shot I liked once they got down to the fight in the antique store, which was that shot of April guarding Raph with the piece of broken wood.
Yeah.
You know, where Raph's just unconscious and she's literally just sitting there with him, guarding him. I thought that was a really cool, meaningful shot.
Yeah, that whole thing was hard to see, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so dark and...
No, for sure. And so they're fighting now downstairs, and the fight was going on. They're using the things around them, the antiques, whatever. They're breaking things over people's heads. Tatsu is literally not even fighting. He's just walking around like he's watching Donatello beat up this foot soldier right next to him, and he's just like, well, you're not doing good enough, and just kind of like never interferes or fights or does anything.
You deserve to get your ass kicked.
looking down on him disapprovingly.
Yes, exactly.
Just sitting there, yeah. Exactly, just like...
You're going to be the Bassetto guy next fight.
You are going to be my ottoman tonight.
Yeah.
You're the one going to Costco for the settles
Here's
next
an
time.
interesting question, though: do you think that the ninjas, like the proper, the human ninjas, would do better fighting in the dark because they possibly have trained that way, or do you think the turtles who have lived in the sewers would do a better job? Because the ninjas fighting, we know, are mostly teenage boys from New York City.
Well, don't turtles like see really
Swim
well
in
in the
the water
dark
and
or
stuff?
have X-ray vision or something? Like they.
I don't think they
And
have
they're
X-ray
mutant-
vision.
well, they're
I
mutants,
think
so-
they use some sort of some sort of like feeling sensor in the water. I think that's why they're better in murky water.
I thought because they could just see through the water because they got X-ray vision.
Well, I think they have a lens thing. I know alligators do.
Okay.
I hate those things.
Alligators?
Yeah,
All right, the turtles.
hate those same
The
things.
turtles actually start to get overwhelmed a little bit because of the sheer numbers of the foot, and you hear one of them yell out, "We could really use Raph right about now."
Yeah.
Cue Casey Jones coming in through the
Jumping
door.
in, yep.
You want to tell me what you're doing, my little green friend over there? Right? Which was Raph, the only one he'd met at this point.
Right.
And stops to let April know she's a babe before the fight continues.
Yeah, that's what heroes
That's
do.
important. Right.
That's what heroes
Exactly.
do.
That's what heroes do.
Exactly.
Who's the babe? Nice. How you doing? Chinese, Thai, or Mexican tonight? You pick. I don't care.
That's great. That's
All
where
right.
Bob got his entire personality.
So
Takeout, baby.
someone chops the electric line coming out of his junction box or something on the wall, and it starts the entire building on fire.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now the place is, which there's so many old papers.
place went
and things
up like
in
a
there. It
Roman
went up
Yeah,
like-
that wasn't going to last long anyway,
No.
with as old as that building is.
No, not at all.
No.
And so they all start. They've got like a secret passage into the sewer or something. I don't really.
Yeah,
Yes,
secret
this antique
passage.
store has a secret passage into the sewer. Like, what?
That's right. Of course. In case you know, we're almost done building this building. It's like 1921.
Think of all the craziest
And,
things.
you know, we could put a secret passage in here. I don't know why we'd ever want to. What if there's a fight and somebody needs to get into the sewer?
What?
Well,
Just like the
build it in.
payphone in the sewer.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You got the
same guy.
contractor there. He's
Same
like,
contractor.
Same contract. He's like, you know, I could probably do this for. I already got my tools and stuff.
I
Here.
can probably do this for $300.
We're already,
300
we're already
bucks.
digging.
Knock
We
it
might
out.
as well just.
The only thing I'm thinking of is the Burbs when he's like, no, all I got to do is call the guy and he can just turn it on from here.
That's right.
You ever just sick about all the craziest
Honestly,
crap?
we'd be stupid not to have a tunnel.
Right.
I got a
think about
payphone down there
I
already.
already put a payphone down there. Go ahead.
The craziest crap that New York's been through. Like they've had
I know.
ghosts, they've had ooze in the sewers,
Foot Clan.
Foot clans.
That's right.
I blame the New Yorkers, though, for the ooze in the sewers.
Pretty soon the Chitauri, you're going to fly in there.
They're just already gonna fly.
So as they're going down the again, you know how much I love important plot details being answered or being delivered via answering machine and the news and things like that. We literally have the answering machine
As it's
hanging from
burning
her
up.
burning
That
apartment.
was a cool shot, though, because it's sitting there on fire. And he's like, hey, by the way, you're fired.
Right. Her
Like-
boss calls and leaves a message, says you're fired.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah. I liked that shot.
Because he had told April to back off the story. He'd gotten pressure from the police chief. She didn't back off the story. I thought there was going to be some kind of new plot point that they were part of
That's
it.
what I was going to try to call out, too, though, is the police chief, we kind of glossed over it, but the police chief calls her boss and is yelling at him about it.
Yeah.
Why is the police... why are the police trying to influence the media?
Well-
like, that's a big deal.
Right. That's why I thought it was going to eventually come out that they were
Part of
Cahoots.
part of
of
the
the
cahoots,
deal,
whatever.
yeah.
I guess there was a ton of scenes cut out, which we'll get to in a little bit, but I don't know if that specifically was part of it.
Yeah,
but
because that
they
seemed
never,
really sketch.
that was a thread that they never wrapped up at all.
Yeah,
I think he fired her because she didn't sleep with him.
probably.
Back to bad guy headquarters, and Shredder is mad at Tatsu for losing, and Tatsu goes crazy.
Dude, he
Yeah,
goes
He
Japanic.
does.
He's like, get out of here, box. The first thing he does, there's like these boxes here.
Japanic.
I think it's called kamikaze.
He has a Japanic attack.
All I can think of was Jingle All the Way because he turns around, he punches the cardboard box.
Yeah.
Get out of here, box. Get out of my way, box. And then he goes in the locker room and kills a guy
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
from
killed.
the Foot Clan.
Yeah.
Now they put in this audio because they were at the last minute they got cold feet about killing somebody off. Thought it'd be too dark, and that's apparently they fired Steve Barron at the end, like right before the end of production, because they were worried about giving him the edit because they thought he was making it too dark as it was.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to give him the editing. So right after they got done filming, he got fired, and then they put in a bunch of audio about. If you go back and listen to the scene, you'll hear some people going, oh, I know he's okay. Oh, he's breathing or whatever. Like just to let
right.
people
He'll
know.
be okay. Yeah, I
but
heard
no,
that.
when they shot the scene, he was
killed him.
dead.
Right.
He killed him.
Right.
Yeah. Then Danny also, we see Danny's back there, and he goes into Splinter's room to be, his loser self. My dad hates me. And Splinter,
Yeah, tweeze your eyebrows, you little crap.
Splinter's like, all fathers care for their sons, right? As a segue into back to the Turtles, essentially.
Right.
Right.
But the kid takes it the wrong way.
He does.
He does.
He does. So here's where you get to the objectively the worst part of the entire movie, which is the whole part where they spend at the farm
Yes.
or the farmhouse or whatever it is. Apparently, go ahead.
Oh, I felt like I just turned on an episode of The Walking Dead or something.
Apparently, April O'Neil has got like an entire how did I word this? Apparently, April O'Neil's got like a real estate empire of crappy buildings across the
For real.
state. Okay, because
There's not a good building in
got-
this thing.
she just keeps coming up with these properties, and they're all worse than the one before. Okay.
That's true.
And so they're at this farmhouse. The van that they took to get there dies and breaks down. Unfixable, right?
Right when they get there, though.
Right when they
What
get there.
luck.
What luck. And so April has to narrate this whole section of the movie like she's writing in a diary for a video game protagonist to find later. Okay.
Right. Just drawing pictures.
Anytime I see somebody writing in a diary and drawing pictures, I'm thinking some guy's going to find that later and have to put the
trying to be
pieces
Sarah
together.
Connor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the reason they had to have her narrate is because the only reason this whole section of the movie would make sense is that they cut out tons of stuff from the farm section, and so none of it makes sense.
Okay.
None
I
of
was
it.
wondering about that because it was like, this is just kind of weird
Yeah.
at this point.
And it just goes from montage to montage,
Right.
random
Yeah,
clip,
yeah,
random
exactly.
scene, more montages. A shot inexplicably of Raphael on the roof screaming Splinter.
Yeah.
Like he was Rocky yelling Drago on the top of the mountain in Rocky 4.
Right.
Drago! Right? That's what I thought of
No,
immediately.
that's exactly what I thought too. I was waiting for a lightning bolt to just.
But none of the,
Shot
what is
them.
happening? They cut it up so much they had to go back and have April record this narration and put all this stuff in to try and tie all these cut up scenes together.
Yeah.
Right.
And it still doesn't work.
Why did they run away again? Because they were trying to hide from the Foot Clan?
They ran away
Well,
because
April's house got blown up in the fire. The
yeah.
sewer was destroyed.
They already knew about
But
the
Danny
sewer.
went back.
Yeah.
Danny, the really crappy kid, he went into the sewer and ordered pizza.
Well, he fixed it up apparently because
So
they
it's like,
got
if he's
back
in
and
the
it was
sewer
fine.
and it's fine.
Right.
Why are
Well,
you guys not going back to
So the
sewer?
clan knew where they lived in the sewer. They burned her house. And also, Raph was injured and like not conscious.
Yeah, they had to
And
put
so-
him in the tub like he was a drunk
Yeah.
buddy.
Can we talk about that? Because I
was
freaking
weird.
died.
It was confusing.
she,
When I laughed. It's like
it was not supposed to be funny, but April's narrated and she's so serious.
Right.
Yeah.
Leonardo has kept a constant vigil over his friend Raphael and has not moved from his side. And it cuts to this shot of Leo kind of slumped on a chair,
Yeah.
sitting there waiting, and he's like waiting for his friend to be okay. And then it cuts to the bathtub, and they've just like got Raph in the tub, like someone just tossed him over their shoulder into
Yeah.
there. He's half hanging out of the tub.
dumped him in after a whiskey bender, and I was like, I'm like, are they going to roll him over and he's going to have a penis drawn on his forehead? Like,
It was
Yes.
It went from being so serious, like they cared so much about him, to the most haphazard dump job
Yeah.
in the tub ever. It was the cut was
She-
unintentionally
it wasn't, yeah,
hilarious.
it
She
was.
comes over and like splashes some water on, walks out, and it was Leonardo was watching him, right?
Yeah, Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leo's sitting there and he like is watching, and then she walks out and he's just like, okay, slump.
Yeah.
Immediate slump. Like, he's
Right.
like, I'm passed out again.
Eventually, of course, Raphael
He
wakes
just
up.
fell through. He
braless.
just fell 10 feet into a living room and he's knocked out
Yeah.
for like the whole.
Well,
For a long
before that,
time.
he was getting dragged down the stairs,
he was-
beat up.
Yeah.
He's got a shell.
Yeah,
He got a shell on his back.
I guess.
True.
It's a really smushy one, though, if you saw it when he came through the window. That's true. He must have gotten it
He's
wet.
a
It was waterlogged.
soft shell turtle.
Shell shock turtles.
So Raph eventually wakes up. He's got this scene where he's like, hey, he's kind of out of it. I'm okay, buddy. It's all right.
What can a guy do to get food around here?
Yeah, that's right. And this is where we have the nightmare fuel moment that everybody knows about. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you. Donatello and April are standing in the doorway while Leo and Raph are embracing in the bathtub. And he goes, and Donatello goes,
This is Lord of the Rings, man.
it's a Kodak moment, right?
Oh,
and then
it's
he
a
laughs.
Kodak moment.
And the puppeteer opened the mouth on Donatello so wide
Yeah.
that you can see the other mouth inside his
Yep.
mouth from the actor in the suit.
Yeah.
And it looks terrifying.
Yeah.
Like nightmare fuel stuff.
Yeah.
And I
just
know
thought
Kurt
two
told me.
I thought this two turtles in a tub, a very small tub, was nightmare fuel. And two oiled up, watered up turtles.
Kurt had told me before when we were talking about this movie that he tried to show his daughter, who is into Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
right? And is a kid, maybe a little younger than he was when we saw this at 10, but still likes the stuff. And she didn't like the movie because she thought the turtles looked scary, and specifically when she could see the teeth inside.
I could see
The
that,
other one
though.
did that. She kind of was like, I'm done with this movie, and wanted to shut it off.
Yeah.
My kids are bored. They left after 20 minutes.
Oh, see, they're too young for it.
Olivia's 9.
You got to be at least 10.
Okay, give it a couple more months.
She'll
Yep,
be
there
super
you
into
go.
it. Super into it.
She's going to love it.
The turtles are 4 once again, as the voiceover from April says, but they do nothing.
No,
Yeah.
they still sit there.
Nothing.
A lot of sexual tension between Casey
Do some
Jones and
Tai Chi
April.
out in the
Oh.
field.
A lingering doubt remains about whether or not this movie will suck. No, yeah. There is. They try to shoehorn some romance in while we're at this bar.
Right,
We might as well try and get these two together. And so there's a scene where she asks him for help. He calls her toots or something.
Yeah.
That ends that scene.
Princess.
Toots,
Sweet tits.
Oh God.
And then there's another scene where. What was the other scene with the two of them? Oh, the back
The
rub.
massage in the kitchen.
That was not a back rub. That was practically a nipple rub. He reaches
I know.
forward.
He went long fingered.
farther than I would reach forward with my wife. Like, like, it's not even like that. It's like,
Just
Bob.
like that.
yo, Bob. Oh, yeah. Oh. She's like,
There is. Can I just be the one to say zero chemistry? Stop. Zero
No, there's
chemistry
none.
between the two of them.
what's your safe word?
Poodle.
Poodle. Turtle.
Did you guys think there was any chemistry between? All right. Will the
sorry.
two of you stop for a second?
Well, he started with that back rub, and
What are you doing?
jeez.
All right, Bob's got a gun now.
He's got a gun.
All right, so, see, I'm all lost now.
Oh,
All right,
are you done?
okay, so we cut back to bad guy headquarters. Please, I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing. Bob forgets this is also an audio medium, and so there's people that can't see what you're doing.
Bob shoots a gun at James.
Okay,
Oh, Groot.
There, now they know what happened.
okay,
Sorry.
it's all right. All right, so can we be done with the gun, please? Go back to bad guy headquarters, and they're like, this is literally, they're in the middle of the farm for a long time in the movie. We go back to bad guy headquarters, like, we need to go back there really quick to seed a backstory scene that's coming up soon. So they have Tatsu come up to Shredder, and he's like, your empire flourishes, master. We've gotten 5 more crappy TVs for your wall. We haven't seen the Turtles or heard from them in a long time. But Shredder's like, but something about the way you described to me how they fight reminds me of something from the past. I'm like, what? Something you didn't witness?
On.
Something you'd never witnessed yourself reminds you of something you saw long ago?
You said they fight in some sort of Japanese manner. That seems familiar to me. I've fought Japanese style before.
Nobody else here in New York has ever been to Japan. So
Nakatomi Plaza here in LA.
the whole point of that scene is to seed what's coming up next, which was kind of hacky, but whatever. We go back to the farm for more turtle training montages and shoulder massages. And so she's getting her shoulders massaged, as we said before.
It's a deep tissue
It's
massage.
a deep tissue massage. She's kind of into it.
Yeah, they're getting perkier and perkier and perkier.
Michelangelo walks into the kitchen, sees what's happening, and she says, do you want some ointment? And he goes, reaches into the cabinet and pulls out turtle wax.
How awkward would it be if you walked in and saw mom and dad doing that?
A shoulder rub?
A shoulder rub that was not a shoulder rub, and then you're like, do you want some ointment? And your mom offered you ointment, and then you pull out turtle wax?
I didn't know where this is going.
I gotta go polish my shell.
Like, this is normal?
You know what's not normal? Michelangelo doesn't utter a single word the entire farm scene in the movie. Not one word.
I think the voice actor is on vacation.
Because, well, they had cut out his whole subplot there. He was supposed to be, he got really depressed and angry, was punching holes in walls and things like that. And that's why they looked a little tense when he came into the kitchen. But that turtle wax bit was supposed to be, oh, he's finally okay.
they looked tense
Mikey's turned a corner.
I think they looked tense because they were about to get it on.
Everyone's about to get it on.
Right.
You got the two in the bathtub. You got the two in the kitchen with katanas.
But there's just the fact that he never says anything shows you that they took a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah.
With this, for sure. And so they eventually, I should say, Leonardo uses the Force and figures out where Splinter is. He literally finds his presence in the Force.
Yeah,
Okay, like Star
use the
Wars.
Force.
No, before that, he literally just sits against a tree and he's like, Splinter, right? Like they connect with each other, like
And
Kylo Ren and Ray.
Ray.
Yeah,
They're like, Leonardo, you turned off your tracking indicator. What's going on? I'm okay.
My late 360 app is not working. I apologize.
So he runs in. So Leo runs in to find the other turtles, and they're playing Trivia Pursuit. And I love this line so much. What Russian novel involving more than 500 characters is set in the Napoleonic Wars? War and Peace.
War and Peace.
Yeah.
Great.
And Leo runs in, steps all over their game, tells him, "I know Splinter's alive." He's like, or no, Splinter's alive. Yeah, we all think he's alive.
Donatello's like, yeah, buddy, yeah. We think he's alive. Yeah.
It's like, no, I know he is. And so they sit around and they realize they all have secret fire ninja powers, just like Joe in American Ninja. Towards the end of the movie, they find out he's got secret powers.
Right.
And so they talk to a flame version of Splinter.
Right. He goes Obi-Wan Splinter there.
Yeah.
The flame went from orange to blue, and thus the
That's
wrath
right.
came through the flame.
And all he does is he shows up. He doesn't tell them where he is.
No.
No.
My final words to you are, I love you, my sons. Which was nice,
Michelangelo has a tear.
touching.
Right.
He had the Beastmaster tears.
Yeah. Right.
Going, where they just go up with the water dropper.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's up? They can't get the turtles to cry for real? How crappy of an actor do you have in there? They should be crying so
They should be
hard,
crying
you cry
hard.
out the eyeballs inside the mask.
It's about emotion, man. What is it?
Friggin' hacks. Squeeze that tear so hard out of your eye, it shoots into the mechanical eye and down the face.
It's like spraying out.
All right, spray those tears out.
It's gonna be a Chinese New Year before we wait those turtles to cry.
That's right.
I think Splinter should have just been like, my father's final words were,
Daniel
Love
Day-Lewis.
her.
If Daniel
as
Day-Lewis
I
was
loved her.
oh, sorry.
Sorry, what?
No, go ahead. Finish. I
was
interrupted
done.
you. Daniel Day-Lewis. If Daniel Day-Lewis was a Ninja Turtle, he would have made that happen.
Yes.
He would have cried. He would have cried. That mask would have just
Through the suit.
through the suit.
Through
Yes.
the suit.
Yes, while he was drinking a milkshake.
Drink your milkshake. Yeah. So finally, let's just get to the end of that stupid scene. This is the worst part of the movie. They all walk into April and they're like, it's time to go back.
We're done with this part of the movie.
We've done all the Tai Chi we can do.
Stop touching her.
It's literally like, I know you joke, but it's like that. Well, it's like, we're done with this part of the
Right.
movie.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty
time to
much
go
was,
back
yeah.
to
No,
New York.
that's exactly what I thought when he said that.
Right.
Yeah.
We still haven't learned any more information.
Yeah.
Because, again, Splinter doesn't say where he is.
No, they're just like, we're gonna go back and we'll figure it out when we get there.
That's right.
We're gonna
okay.
do it live.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
One of the problems in this movie is I think they needed to lean in harder to it being a comic book. I think they went in and out. They stepped back and forth. I think at some point Steve, the director Steve, was like, he had like, I don't know, like Theo was his assistant. He's like, Theo, I need to ask you something.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Do you think that the audience is going to understand that this is from a comic book? Do you think? I feel like we might not be. You know, we may be.
This is from a comic book?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like I sent you it last week. He's like,
Oh.
I think maybe we need to lean. You know, we need to lean in harder.
No, I thought this was a period drama.
Okay. You know what? We're just gonna stick with what we got. We already shot at a bunch of scenes. We'll just keep it like this. Okay.
All right, so we're not going to kill off the turtles' parents anymore.
No. We'll cut that.
We'll cut that scene
No, but seriously, like I feel like that's like
where April finds a horse head in her bed.
Yeah,
We're
like
not doing that
literally,
anymore.
I feel like that's what they did though. Like they should have just been like, dude, for real, like lean in.
So it's a serious drama.
Yeah, because you get that like randomly they'll be like, oh, this is just silly, and randomly it's like, no, this is serious.
Right.
So I think they should have stuck with
No, I got you.
being more of a.
I don't disagree. They go back to the sewer. Casey makes a funny comment. Why can't I ever fall in with people who own condos, right? They got to go live in the sewer. They find Danny down there. He's set up shop inside the turtles' old hideout. And Casey does not like it down there.
Yeah.
And Donatello says to Casey, you're claustrophobic. And Casey's like, I'm not gay.
I never looked like a man. I mean, I never looked at a man.
The hell kind of a response is that? Casey's got some stuff he needs to,
Casey's
like
got
a few
issues.
hours in therapy, I think,
For
at
real.
least.
You gotta do
Casey.
more.
One time at summer camp.
Or
You know what?
dictionary, something.
Cocaine
I never even looked at a guy.
Yeah.
and pre-workout would help.
He means you're afraid of small spaces.
That's right.
And then
One time somebody asked me if I ever took a transatlantic flight and I cut his head off.
One time the mechanic said I needed a new tranny. I punched him in the face.
Oh my god.
Not afraid of small spaces.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
But then he goes and
I ain't
tries
gay.
to sleep in the truck.
Yeah.
Well, you rolled the window down.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, and then he rolls the
Yeah,
window
yeah,
down,
yeah.
Afraid of small spaces.
That's right. Danny goes to April and he sees the pictures she drew of the turtles, right? And he's like, "Oh, this is a really cool one. Can I have one so it can become a plot device in about 10 minutes?" Is that okay?
It was like you could see that one.
Those pictures were probably the extra ones from Iron Eagle 2.
They should have just held up the script at that point to the camera.
Right? And she's like, "Yeah, sure, you can have one." Then he folds it like 9 times.
Yeah.
This beautiful picture that she drew. He's like, "Cool."
Origami. Sorry.
And Danny and them all go to sleep. And once it's nighttime, Danny dips out of the sewer and to head back to the gang hideout. And Casey sees him come up out of the sewer and follows him. So Casey has followed him to the gang hideout. The turtles are still in the sewer. And Casey goes in after him. Okay. And so Danny, for some reason, wants to go back and see Splinter again, but he unknowingly walks into more backstory. 15 years. Oh, no, Splinter, I already heard this one. No, this is a new one. Shh.
Shut up, boy.
It's like, oh, crap. If I'd have known I was walking in more backstory, I wouldn't have come in here.
Danny's like, couldn't you have just put this on a TV? I mean, come on, really.
And
Or
so
the news. I don't know.
Splinter tells him the rest of what happened to him. He's like, basically, he's like, I was a rat that learned ninjutsu. Oh, like when you were bigger? He's like, no, I was still a regular rat.
I was in my cage
He's in
doing
his cage, like the animatronic rat. I mean, I kind of thought it was kind of funny, kind of cool. The animatronic rat just in there, like rock'em
He's like-
sock'em robot.
Yeah.
Mimicking his master, who's doing it in the same room. My next question was, why is a rat in a bird cage?
it. That's a valid question.
Okay.
It was literally a bird cage.
It's a hanging bird cage.
Like Tweety bird cage.
Right, it was, yeah. It was.
No, like if I walked in and I saw my dog trying to imitate, like if I did like karate or something cool, like I don't,
Right.
but if I did and I saw my dog trying to imitate me, I'm gonna probably put a bullet in my dog's head. Like I'm just like, like nah, man, like that's not normal.
No. And so the story we get is
We love dogs here.
Yes, we do.
You guys do.
His master's name was Yoshi. He had a rival named Saki. And Saki was jealous of Yoshi
Because
Yoshi
Mario rode on Yoshi. Oh, sorry.
because Yoshi was with Tang and Saki wanted to be with Tang. And so he kills Yoshi and Tang.
Pootie Tang?
No, I just thought it was funny that they're all named after drinks like Saki,
Saki,
Tang.
Yoshi, and Tang.
Yeah.
Anyway, Saki kills Yoshi and Tang in front of Splinter, who's still a rat in a bird cage.
Yep.
In the room. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And Splinter gets so mad he breaks out of his bird cage, leaps up, and slashes Sake in the face.
Yep.
Which like right across the bottom half of his face, basically. And so he's so angry about this that he chops Splinter's ear off. This rat's ear. Yeah, good luck hearing anything now.
And then walks away.
Rat.
Like-
Right.
But like both of those characters have motive. Like the rat has a motive to hurt this guy more, and this guy has a motive to hurt the rat more, and they both just walk away.
Yeah.
I figured a rat's lifespan's only like 2 years.
They walked away because they had to wait for the movie.
It's gonna die.
All right, I'll see you in 15 years.
Right.
Wasn't banking on him playing around in nuclear sludge
Seriously.
and becoming a life-size rat.
You know, you're missing your ear, I see,
true.
but you're a lot bigger
Well, that's why
rat
he
than the
always
other
says,
one.
I've got an ear to listen. That's because he's only got one ear.
And so
Can only hear out of this one.
So Danny's like, whatever happened to this Saki guy? And he's like, I don't know, but you wear his symbol upon your brow. Danny's like, word? Right? And he takes off the thing and puts it on the ground, which was bad timing because Shredder walks in. And he's like, why are you in here talking to Mr. Ratman? Right? And he sees the headband on the ground. He's like, oh, now I'm pissed. And he pulls out his Shredder blades and he uses his, I don't know, like homing device he has it. Like he just
it's
knows
right in there in the
immediately.
blades. Right.
Immediately where the paper, he snatches the picture out of Danny's back pocket,
It's set to turtle.
unfolds it, sees the picture of Leonardo, and he's like, they're back. Because he has a picture.
Because of
Of a
picture.
turtle. That must mean they're
turtle.
back here. And the picture was drawn at a farmhouse. So that means they're here now. Because they were there then.
Right.
But now they're here.
So they're in now
right.
now.
They're in the now.
We're in now. They send the Foot Clan, like Shredder's like, they're back because of this picture, which is one of the dumbest things that happens plot-wise.
That was pretty dumb.
They send them to the sewer, the Foot Clan to the sewer. Meanwhile, Casey Danny finds Casey in the gang building and says, you got to help me get Splinter out of here. They're going to kill him, right? So Casey, who has put a Foot Clan costume on, takes the hood off inexplicably to not blend in anymore, goes in there, they unhook Splinter from his bindings, and right as they're taking him down, Tatsu walks in, and we get a little Tatsu versus Casey Jones action.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which Casey, not really a match in hand-to-hand combat for Tatsu, and he basically is getting smacked around.
Yeah.
Right? Until he gets knocked onto a box with golf clubs in it.
Yes.
That was their biggest mistake, stealing the golf clubs.
That's right.
The classic hero looks over and he sees a weapon. He's like, I can use this.
That's right.
Shredder
casually
never made
pulls
it off
out-
the Pebble Beach. Clubs are still there.
Pulls out the driver, waits until Tatsu grabs him to pull him up, turns around, cracks him right in the face with it.
That would hurt.
Well, first he gave him like the old nut shot or something to get him bent over. And
Right.
then he teed off on the melon.
Tatsu was not ready for golf clubs.
No.
Nah.
When Shredder taught Tatsu how to fight, Tatsu was like, okay, but what if they have golf clubs? And he's like, then you're screwed. I don't have anything for that.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
You got to figure this
You're
out
on your own.
First of all, that's never going to happen. Secondly, there's nothing you can do to defend yourself.
That's right.
Foot soldiers are.
right.
Hey, Shredder, look, we brought some golf clubs. Got some golf clubs here.
Put those things under that box, the box pile.
Bury those.
Bury those immediately.
Under the packing peanuts and.
Because we're hoes. We can't defend against them. Tatsu, and then after he gets hit, he just maybe Shredder just told him, if it does happen, try just bending over at the waist and playing dead.
It's like a bear. He'll walk away.
He'll walk away. That didn't happen either. Second shot goes 4.
Boom.
Blast
Hole in
him.
one.
Right into the.
Do you know
right into the
how
box.
much a full golf swing into your face with a driver would
Oh,
hurt?
that hurt.
I don't think
Big
you'd
time.
fly 65 feet in the air, though.
I think your brain would explode. And you'd
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
You'd probably be. Yeah. You'd be dead.
Yeah. So we got to the sewer, and the Foot Clan pours into the Turtles' hideout. They're really going to have to
into Pennywise's hideout there. Just
That
they
was
would slip through
slide
Yeah.
right in.
Right in.
That sewer drain was like 3 feet
Sewer
tall.
drain was like KY jellied up.
Yeah.
Pennywise is out there. Yeah, come here.
Yeah. Come here.
Georgie, come here, Georgie.
I swear 2 of my friends jumped in here with me.
What's this talking clown doing here? What?
My name's Pennywise. Yeah.
I got your boat.
I got your nunchuck.
You're right. They're diving into the sewer. I think somebody should have made that meme. Why hasn't that happened yet? Where because later on they all come diving out of the sewer, have him jumping in, have a shot
they
of
come out the
Pennywise,
same way.
and then have him coming
Yeah.
back out backwards. Come
They
on.
should.
Come on, internet.
PMR Army, get on it.
There you go.
Let's do it.
They fight in this, so they all pour into the Turtles' hideout. They're going to need a new hideout at this point because the Foot knows exactly where they are.
Right.
Right.
The whole thing, they turn on, they fill the room with like sewer steam.
Yeah, they open up the steam valves.
Had to smell fantastic in there, I got to imagine.
Oh, dude.
Fills it up. You
Really
can't see
opens
it.
the pores.
Yeah, it really does. You put a bunch of steam, hot air on that sewer sludge. Yeah, I'm
Right.
sure that
Get all
smells
those
lovely.
toxins into the skin.
Right, you get it in there. Really puffs up the face. Makes you look younger.
You some kind of punker? I hate punkers, especially bald ones with green makeup or whatever Casey says earlier. I'm like,
Right.
what the hell is a punker?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, they fill the place up with steam and smoke. It gets where you can't see, and the Turtles mop the floor because the Foot Clan sucks.
They do.
Yeah.
Then after that, more people file in after that, and they continue to
Yeah.
fight in the sewer. Donatello skateboarding through the sewer, taking out fools with his bow staff that he's not allowed to use in the next movie. And Michelangelo, they're all doing their thing.
That's what's known as a tease.
And all of a sudden, you start seeing the Foot Clan guys jumping back out of the sewer as fast as they were jumping into it, right?
Hey, there's
Run away!
There's a clown down there. We got to get out of here.
Forget about Ninja Vanish. Just get the hell out of here.
Just get out of here, man.
Ninja, get the F out of here. Yeah.
Ninja, get the F out of here now.
So they get up there, and Shredder shows up finally, right?
Yes,
They fight all the way up onto this roof, and then Shredder just jumps in.
Yeah.
And the Turtles are like, who's this guy?
Jumps
right?
in like Vader.
I don't know. He's looking sharp, though.
He doesn't need a can opener.
Yeah, that's right. That's what he says. And I do think it's funny that even Donatello doesn't like puns. I felt vindicated watching this movie
Yeah.
because Mikey, as they're fighting, he's like, this one looks shell-shocked. And Donnie's like, no, that's too derivative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and he tries another pun, and Don's like, no, that's not
No,
good, right?
don't like that
It's
one.
a shell of a good time. He's like, all right, fine.
I'm gonna let
get
this
it.
one slide, but
That's your one for the day, buddy.
right.
You had to do the classic two of them bumping their shells together
yeah.
to sandwich the one guy. I mean, that was
good.
Contractually
good
obligated.
stuff.
Yeah.
If you had a turtle movie and they didn't do that, everyone would be fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be.
This movie would make nothing.
Nothing. So the Shredder's there, and the turtles are like, "All right, let's fight him." But they one at a time attack. That's a
this
bad guy
is-
move. The bad guys are supposed to attack
Right.
one at a time.
Yeah.
What
All
are
right,
they
guys,
doing?
Take turns.
Take turns.
Use your manners.
They all just get
We got to share.
smacked around by
Yeah.
Shredder.
Meanwhile, Shredder's smaller than him.
Much,
Right.
yeah.
He is literally smaller than them.
Right. Jack Turtles against like
Yeah.
puny.
Look at this puny man. Look at this turtle.
You know what it's like?
And I know that it's. Go ahead.
It's like Tom Cruise fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
That's what it's like because he's so tiny.
What the hell did you just say about Tom Cruise?
Tom
small.
Cruise fought
Tom
Arnold.
Cruise
yeah.
was
Take
fighting
that man
Arnold.
back. That man's a national treasure.
I know it's an
I'm
Indian.
not saying he's not a national treasure. I'm saying that he's small.
He's small.
This is gonna be the Keanu Reeves thing all over
No, it's
again.
not.
No.
I know that it's an independent film, and so money and costuming I try and give a pass on.
Yeah.
But could they not have secured the blades on the back of Shredder's hand a little bit better? Did you see how floppy that thing was in almost every scene?
Yeah, a
the two
couple
big blades.
Extra zip ties would have
Just
been
zip
fine.
it down or something.
Yeah.
Especially later on in a minute here when he's falling, and even before that when he's holding on to the thing, that thing is flopping all over the place.
They just
I'm
what
gonna
they
keep,
did.
I'll just keep my mouth shut on all this.
so even if you hit somebody with like it wouldn't impale them
Right.
because there's too
It would
much
just
give.
bend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They just took like a piece of salami and they spray painted it silver and taped it on.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
they were in New York, a lot of
A lot of salami.
pastrami and salamis.
The whole gang shows up on the street. All the kids, everybody, they're all down on the street. Casey Jones is there.
Yeah.
And everyone has come down. And no one's going up on the top where the fight's happening, but they're all kind of gathering in the street below.
You can't see anything up there. They're all like watching it like the Yankees.
Right.
This is great.
Casey used a garbage truck to back into a ladder to take out a couple foot soldiers.
Who fired that garbage driver? One walks up,
I know,
door
that-
wide open, window, just keys
That's
are
what I
left in
thought.
it.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
like,
there was like a garbage truck. There were like two cars sitting there. Just let's just leave it here for the
it's-
day.
Yeah, that's all right. This is fine.
But other than
here
that, they're all
tomorrow.
just kind of there. You'll tell you who hasn't showed up. The police.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're not there.
Like,
No, there's this huge fight going on.
they're on their way.
They're on the take.
Yeah.
Like Ryan said, they're on the take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get the turtles now huddled around. Shredder is waiting for them to have a team huddle instead of
Right.
just murdering them.
He's just walking back and forth like
standing
Darth Maul.
back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just doing the Darth Maul thing.
Yeah.
And they're all huddled up. He's like, all right,
They're all like-
when exactly did we lose control here? And like, when you started attacking one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Even in a minute, because Leo then attacks him. Actually, Leo's the only one to land a hit on him
Yeah.
out of everybody.
Yep.
Raph kind of catches him with a kick, but it was blocked and just caught him with the heel of it. Other than that, Leo's the only one to get a clean shot when he slices him. Okay.
Yep.
Outside of that, Leo ends up in trouble and about to be stabbed and killed.
Right.
And he tells Shredder, goes, he's going to die or you throw all your weapons. So they toss all their weapons off the roof, except the nunchuck lands on the top of the ladder.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But even Shredder says, you fools, the three of you might have been able to overpower me, but now you'll die. So even Shredder's like, y'all should have just attacked me at the same time.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Morons.
Right.
So when the bad guy even calls out the fact that you're attacking him one at a time, I feel like that's a bad sign.
He was like, "You guys are worse than my henchmen," and that's saying something.
And so right at the moment Leo's about to get killed, Splinter Splinter shows up at the edge of the roof. Okay.
Conveniently at the edge of the roof.
Right.
Yeah, because the puppeteers had to get their hand up his butt, so he couldn't be. It's like a Muppet.
Yeah, the guy that does Elmo.
Yeah.
The Splinter, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And so Splinter shows up, and as soon as he sees him, he says, "I remember you from when you killed Tang and Yoshi and whatever." Mm-hmm. Shredder takes his mask
Takes
off,
his Vader mask off.
and you see the scar by his mouth. You realize even one of the turtles goes, "It's him," right? Because they've probably heard the story before.
Yep.
Right.
Right? And so they know who it is. And so Sake, or Shredder, starts running at him with his spear.
He's an idiot.
Okay.
Shredder became the coolest bad guy to the biggest idiot in 30
right.
seconds.
Splinter has the nunchucks because they're on the top of the ladder there. And so he sidesteps the spear, grabs him with the nunchucks, like throws him over the side of the roof, and now is holding him with the chucks by the spear, dangling over the roof.
Yeah.
Okay. I love how the turtles all got their butts kicked by Shredder, and Splinter just takes care of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a second, right?
Well, Shredder did it to himself.
Yeah. Well, because Shredder, I don't think he was going to dump him off the roof.
Yeah.
Right.
But he reaches back to get one of those blades he likes to throw into his television wall.
Yeah, the television throwing blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ends up getting dropped accidentally. I think accidentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the back of the garbage truck at the bottom.
Yep.
And then you get Casey Jones walks up and goes,
Oops.
"Oops," and hits the lever of the garbage
Yeah.
to catch him. That's pretty dark for a kids movie.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna crush this guy inside the back of this garbage truck.
Or apparently.
Or apparently, well, obviously, that
Apparently he
it's not what happened.
survived.
He survives, but still,
All that PSI pressure, it was the helmet.
Casey is thinking he's killing him at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Which is dark.
it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
for
You're just like,
Ninja
oh,
Turtles.
the
For kids.
guy-
I mean, I thought it worked within the movie. I actually thought it was one of the best parts. He's like, "Oops."
Yeah.
The-
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
That was good.
Just you would never see that now, and so that's why
Not
it was
for a
just seemed
kids
a little
movie,
bit
yeah.
shocking. To me,
No.
yeah. So then the cops show up right after everything is over.
Right on
All right,
cue.
everybody. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Right.
Charles reunites with Danny. Well, Dan now. It's Dan.
It's just Dan. It's Dan.
Dan.
It's Dan.
Like, he's so confused. Why would you want to be called Dan?
He hit
Well,
puberty.
The other thing I don't understand is he shows up with the cops. He's a news reporter. He's there for the news.
Right.
Shows up and Dan used to be Danny is like, "Dad," and he's like, "I've had everybody looking for you, son. That's why I'm here at this unrelated crime scene." Like, I don't think he had
So
anybody.
that's
looking
where
for
the
him.
police were. They were looking for Dan.
That's what.
Sure.
Many people have died because I've used the entire police force to try and find you. Countless people have been murdered, but honey, I'm just glad you're safe. Charles and Dan reunite. I like the police chief shows up and he starts yelling something. Don't let them get away. I want to talk to them. Okay,
Yeah.
right? Like all that stuff.
You right there. Don't move. You.
Don't move. Goes up to Sam Rockwell. He's like, "All right, what are you going to tell me what's going on?" And Sam Rockwell's like, "You know what? Just go check out this place at Eastman and Laird, which is the cross street or the two creators of Ninja Turtles, and you find your answers there." And I'm like, "Okay, so do they all still get arrested?"
Right. He's just like, "We'll check it out."
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
I just wanted a shot of them slapping each other's backs, and
Yeah.
he's like, "All right, no harm, no
Piggyback
foul."
all
What
the-
he should have done is said, "Just don't leave town."
Thanks for the tip.
Thanks for the tip. Now, Charles is begging April to do a news report from the scene, right? She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you fired me. I can't. You can have your job back. You can have a corner office. This person's the most highest paid.
Yeah, you get
Well,
it
now
all.
you are the
Right.
highest paid,
Right.
right?
By
And,
$1.
By $1.
They have this weird scene because, again, there was no chemistry between the two of them where Casey Jones goes up and basically begs her to kiss him.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I look like I just went 3 rounds with Mike Tyson or whatever, and all you
Yeah.
can say is hello. It's just the whole thing. That whole thing just kind of sucked to me.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't great. I mean, it could have, we could have done without it.
The back massage and this scene were very forced.
very
Yeah,
much.
Very much.
It cuts back up to the roof, which is all we really wanted to see, is the turtles celebrating, saying all their catchphrases, totally tubular,
Cowabunga, dude.
all that stuff. And yeah, and then Splinter's like, "I have always liked cowabunga.
Yeah.
Cowabunga!
I made a funny.
I made it funny.
You made it creepy.
And that's the end of the movie.
Yes.
That was the movie. Do we do an applause? No.
All right, let's give this movie some awards. What do you say, guys? We slap some awards on this thing?
Do it.
All right, awesome. Let's do it. So we always start with the most important award, the one that we give out for the most intense actor, and that is the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure
They remember forever the night they played the Titans.
That's right.
That's right.
That kind of intensity is what we want out of every movie, even the ones that are ridiculous. There's always somebody that's going 110% like it's the most important movie they've ever made. So who are your nominations for the Will Patton Award for intensity? Bob? Shredder.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good pick.
Even though he didn't look the part, the acting, he was intense.
He was intense.
So, yeah, he did the best he could.
Okay. Perfect. Who you got?
I was gonna say his name's escaping me, and I forgot to write it down. But the dude who is like his second in command,
Tatsu.
Okay, that's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I straight up went with Tatsu also.
He was.
His name was Toshishiro Obata.
Obama was in this movie?
Obata with a T.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who you got?
Tatsu.
Nice.
Go play. Yeah, dude, the guy was
Go.
The guy was just a ball of intensity.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Right?
And he didn't have much dialogue, but which
No.
is fine. He didn't need it.
No.
He had the eyes. He had the facial expressions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was all good. And we got a couple people playing along with the Patreon today, and so you can also do that. If you join our Patreon, you can submit your own awards and be featured on episodes just like these guys here. And so we got Sean McHugh playing with us from home, along with Charlie. And Charlie, I think it's pronounced Francois. I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm going to go with.
Is that a friend quiz?
I think it's Francois.
Is it?
Charlie, you can
that'd
just
be
hit
like
us
a
up and let us
Francois.
know.
Okay.
If not,
So
let us
Sean
know.
McHugh and Charlie Francois. Let us know if we got those wrong. So
We're
Sean
from America, so
Sean wrote in with both names for Tatsu. He said Toshishiro Obata and Michael McConaughey, who is the white guy that did the voice of Tatsu. So this dude was dripping with intensity in every scene. His scowl alone could scare you away.
Yeah.
For sure, bro. And Charlie said, actually, he went off the board, and I like his pick here, Raymond Serra as Chief Stearns, the police chief.
yeah.
He was the only actor in this movie with any bit of charisma or personality. I'm a sucker for the screaming police chief trope, and he played it well with his over-the-top facial expressions and constant yelling. He went all in a movie that was otherwise dull as a butter knife. All right. Ooh. He did say he watched this movie with his wife, who is in film production, and was sorry that he subjected her to it afterwards.
Not the only person whose wife didn't like it.
So it looks like, but with 4 votes, it's going to be Mr. Tatsu is going to be the winner of the Will Patton Award for intensity.
Ninja, get me my award.
That's right. Ninja Award. Ninja
There
Award.
you go. What hand signal would it be, though?
The next award we give out is the award you don't want to win, the Michael Dudikoff Trash Can Full of Dirt Award, which is the award we give out to the worst actor in the movie, the one that displayed the acting range of a trash can full of dirt. So, who are your nominations for the trash can, Bob?
Danny.
Michael Turney.
Yeah, I don't give a crap what his name is. He
Okay.
sucks. You can join Jake Lloyd in Hot Tub Hell, you little bastard.
All right. Ryan, who you got?
Michael Turney.
Michael Turney.
Yes.
Okay. Mayor?
His kids can fend for himself.
This poor guy.
He doesn't want to.
Jesus. All right. So at first I was thinking
Don't you Hillary Clinton us there.
the police. The
No
police
politics
chief.
on this show.
I was making a.
But I think as we discussed, I think, okay, I think the police chief was all right. He did his trope well.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Pick Danny. Just do it.
Danny.
Does Bob know what a lobbyist is? I was asked that question once.
Whose take are you on?
Wouldn't you like to know?
And then my second thought was Leonardo because he was just terrible too.
He had nothing to do. He didn't do anything.
I know it
Yeah.
wasn't.
He was the least interesting of the 4 turtles.
right.
That was an empty suit most of the time.
Yeah.
They just posted.
It's like I think that suit's empty when he was sitting there.
Posted his suit. I'll go with Danny because there a lot of times
Yeah.
he just no salt. He just no
He just sat there and he's
He
just
just
like,
sat there.
I don't know, man. My father just doesn't love me.
Right. He just no sold it.
Shut up. I wanted to punch him in his stupid face. Go home, you baby.
You've got a dad.
Honestly.
Dad that loves you.
that
Now you got
cares.
a rat dad that loves you too, and you still don't care.
He wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go get some cigarettes and didn't show up again.
Right.
You know?
All right, so I also went with Michael Turney. It was a 4-way sweep, but we still got the Patreons here. The patrons, let's see what they said. Sean McHugh went with Michael Turney.
All right.
said, my wife didn't want me to nominate him because of his age,
What does that mean?
That sounds ageist.
but he had the acting range of a potato.
That's great.
That's pretty accurate.
Is it a baked potato or is it just a sitting there?
It was a raw one. It's not even baked.
That's probably
Not even
why he
baked.
only acted 3 times and had no photo on IMDb. I'm
Yeah.
glad they got a
Yeah.
better kid for the second one, which they did. Ernie Reyes Jr. in the second one. Much
Surf
better.
Ninjas,
Much
the
better.
Rundown. Love Ernie Reyes Jr.
Now, Charlie, we thought his last pick was off the board, and the pick he made I respect because it's true. But he didn't go with Michael Turney, so it's 5 out of 6 votes.
Okay.
But he went even further off the board this time. He went with John Fenner, who was the director of photography. Okay, in a movie full of terrible actors, the worst one was the camera.
Nice.
I don't disagree, brother. The only time the action was decently framed, the lighting was awful. And even when the Foot Clan hideout with all the neon signs in video games, Fenner managed to squander all of that potential. If the movie had no director of photography and the rest of the crew had just winged it, it would have been a better movie. So he's saying that having no director of photography would have been better, meaning that he didn't just do a bad job, he actively was working against the film.
I will say that he does have a point with the den or whatever, where like they
Yeah.
have there was no like good brightness of like shiny bright lights.
No,
or
but you
anything,
could have even lit it in an interesting way with
Yeah.
like using all
Right.
those colors and
Yeah,
things.
like there should have been more color pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, it's an indie film, right? You're limited,
Sure.
but
That's why you ended up with a small wonder
It was probably
author
someone's
Right.
cousin.
and a guy that directed music videos.
Right.
Right. So
hey, you over there, you ever turn lights on and off? All right,
Right.
come on, you can come light this movie for
it
me.
might have been
enough.
part of it, but
You'll have to turn the one off when we throw a sigh at it.
all right. So with 5 out of 6 votes, though, Michael Turney's going to win the trash can full of dirt. So
Suck it. You suck. To
It's
the
now
hot
going to be
tub
known as the
with
Michael
Jake
Turney
Lloyd.
trash can.
All right. You guys can whatever you want to do in that hot tub, but you suck, both of you.
So is it going to be the Michael Turney trash can now?
no, I don't know. No,
Michael
no,
should
no,
be.
no.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
The Turney
He only
trash
had like
can.
one part in movies.
Yeah.
That's his
Let's be a
fault.
consistent
that bad.
history
was
of
that
terribleness.
bad.
Not bad enough to be the.
Michael Dudikoff only had one,
Let's
though.
talk about some good things, okay? Let's talk about good performances. This doesn't even have to be good. Just your enjoyable ones. What were the top 3 performances that you enjoyed the most, Bob?
I would go top performances. I would
Yeah.
do Raphael, Splinter, and I'm gonna go Tatsu.
Tatsu.
Yeah, Tatsu,
nice.
sorry.
No. Tatsu's great. Awesome. That's good. Those are good picks. Who you got, Doc?
I was going to go with Casey for number 3, Tatsu for number 2, and then Raph for number 1.
Okay. Who was number 1?
Raph.
Raphael.
Oh,
Raph.
Raphael.
Not
Okay.
Raph, sorry, Raph.
It's Raph. I was like, wait, did I miss a character? Who
The new character just popping in.
you got, Mayor?
All right, I got Raphael at 3, Casey Jones at 2, and I liked April O'Neil, the
Yeah.
reporter.
There you go.
Got her number 1.
That works.
Lots of love for Casey and for Raph. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably going to be a lot of commonality there across the board with a lot of people that see this movie because as Leo is very uninteresting, Raph is definitely the most interesting of the turtles.
Yes, he is.
And he gets the most screen time out of all of them. And yeah, Casey Jones, even when you're 9-year-old especially, you're like, this guy's awesome.
Right, hair and all.
Yep. This is the guy that gets
I
me in
wanna
trouble
not know what
at
color-
school. You go to school, you go, what's up, babe? Detention. All right.
Attention immediately.
Yeah. You're 9 years old and you're like, I want to not know what claustrophobia is.
What's claustrophobia, Mom?
So I went, get back in that closet.
Never even looked at a man.
That's right. So with number 3, I actually gave it to Raymond Serra, the police chief.
Nice.
Number 2, Elias Koteas, the guy who played Casey Jones. And then I went with Josh Pies, I think is how you say it, like size, but with a P. The guy who played Raphael.
Yeah.
It was number 1. So Casey and Raph, 1 and 2. And then the police chief, number 3. Sean went with young Sam Rockwell at number 3 for his. And actually put in there young Sam Rockwell.
Nice.
Right? I feel like young Link and Smash Brothers. Like you got regular
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell,
Yeah.
there's
Right.
young Sam Rockwell. If they fought, who would win? I don't know. Young Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
2, he had Elias Koteas, and then number 1, he gave it to all 4 turtles.
Nice.
Even the empty shell one.
Even the empty, even the one that was a body pillow.
Yeah.
The one
It's
that
just a
slumped
hollow
against
shell.
the door.
Right.
Only woke up because April O'Neil came in braless to sprinkle some water on Raphael.
Yeah.
His legs
Slump
over
back
his
down.
legs over the bathtub.
Charlie had a lot of thoughts on this. Charlie went with Raymond Serra, number 1, as Chief Stearns in a movie where every actor gave the performance of a pile of bricks.
Wow.
He was the only one breathing any life into his character. I enjoyed his few short scenes more than anything involving the Turtles. Not sure he could have pulled off a more complex role, but he got this one right. And number 2, he gave to James Sato as the Shredder. I liked him as a bad guy. His spiky armor looked cool. He was believable as both an evil overlord and a martial arts expert. And he managed to bring some gravity to this band of losers that neither the Foot Clan or Tatsu could provide. And then number 3, Elias Koteas as Casey Jones.
Nice.
Said I had a soft spot for him as a kid. It still kind of worked today. The terrible writing didn't do him any justice, but he managed to deliver the one-liners with a minimum of credibility. Still gets minus points for the total lack of chemistry between him and April. Yeah, buddy. That's absolutely
Okay.
That's fair.
But here's the deal, Chuck. So you're saying that you didn't like the Ninja Turtles. I think you just were never going to like this film then, probably. Like
Maybe
you
he
don't
just
like,
doesn't like turtles.
He
Yeah.
liked it as a kid.
just if you're not a patron already, sign up so you can hear what I have to tell you about turtle sex. You're gonna like it. So
Well, these guys
we're
are.
getting there. Okay.
oh, yeah,
Oh
those
yeah,
guys
yeah.
are.
Of course.
They're
All right,
for sure.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
For sure. So we've already kind of dabbled on this a little bit because I know we brought his name up a few times, but this was 1990. We're firmly in that period of time when people wanted Arnold for everything. Now, this little independent turtle movie probably wasn't going to get Arnold.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they didn't want him. And on their dream list of who could play who, I guarantee you Arnold Schwarzenegger was right on
At the top.
the
List
list.
for Splinter.
Number
For
2.
Splinter.
Shredder.
Listen to me, very guys. Hold on. This is me in the fire. Okay.
I'm roasting.
And I want to tell you, I'm very hot right now. Okay, this is burning in my brain. I can feel it.
So listen now.
Listen now to me, okay? This is my final words for you. I'm in the gang building. Come get me now. Arnold would have told him. Arnold would have told him where
Yeah.
he was.
He
Right?
would've.
He would
Yeah.
have.
He never would have even gotten captured. He wouldn't be chained up. He'd be chained up, and then hold on, I'm just going to be chained here until I give you my backstory, and then I'm going to break the chains with my bare hands.
Yep. They'd show up and he'd just be sitting in a pile of them.
That's right.
Oh, you're here now?
That's right.
Did you bring the pizza?
Charlie also said Arnold the Splinter would have been amazing. It would have completely obviated the need for the Turtles at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just let Arnold take on the entire Foot Clan by himself. Arnold and his pet turtles. That's the
would've been
movie I wanted to
great.
watch.
That would have been great.
Just rename the movie Splinter.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the fake trailer that The Rock made on SNL for Bambi? Okay.
I didn't see that one.
Okay.
I'll have to watch it.
See that one? They made it like if Bambi was a serious movie, and that's exactly what it'd been like if it was Splinter. It was like still Arnold, but they just put like ears on him. Like they didn't do all the makeup.
Yeah.
They just had the rat ears.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
You know,
Just one of them.
and a beard.
Just-
Yeah, just
the
one.
other one's cut off.
One's cut off.
Yes, when I was in my bird cage when I was a little baby rat, and I watched him, and he was pumping iron, and so I learned how to do the push-ups, and then I learned how to do.
deadlifts.
That's right. Then I started to break off the bars, and I would use them for weights in my cage. Hey, look at this! Now I've got a fantastic rat body, and it looked great, and the muscles are big. And then I break out of here.
Hey, April, how are you?
So sorry. Sean wanted to see him as Shredder. Okay, Arnold is Shredder.
Sure.
Kevin
That's the
Nash.
obvious.
That's
Kevin
the
Nash
obvious
is Shredder.
because you put him in there. in the big-
Turtles.
That's right. Look at you, turtles! They're coming to attack me one at a time. You stupid.
Maybe if all three of you did, you
That's
had
right.
a chance, but no.
Maybe if the three of you could. What am I saying? You couldn't even overpower me with your little baby turtle muscles.
Your toothpick weapons.
It's like, that's right. You want to fight me? Fight with a real weapon, not with a toothpick. That's why he picks his teeth.
Picks his teeth
Takes,
with
the-
the.
takes the bow
Donatello's
staff
bow
and
staff.
just picking his teeth
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
Are you
What is
done
this?
yet? I just ate steak. It was
I-
wonderful.
Can't wait
little
for
rat
some turtle
buddy.
soup.
Turtle soup.
In Austria,
puny
we
rat.
love it.
Push your puny rat buddy.
That's right. All right. We should move on. we gotta land somewhere on this. So ultimately, we got to decide: is this a good movie? Are the critics wrong and the people are right? The people have said this movie's fantastic. The critics have said no, it's dog crap. Charlie has said, I think we haven't got to his yet. Based on what he said,
Charlie
probably thinks it's dog crap.
Yeah, Charlie's
Who's right?
trending
Who's
that
wrong?
way.
Where do you guys land on this? Is this a good movie, a bad movie, or a bad movie that rules?
Bad movie.
Really?
A bad movie, full
Full
stop?
stop?
Full stop. Yeah, full stop.
What? Bob?
Absolutely.
Bob.
Yeah,
Bob, aw, sweetie.
I was sweet. Get out of here.
Do you need a shoulder massage,
We got to talk about this. Tell me
Why?
about where you're at on this.
No, I just didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed some parts of it.
Is
and
everything okay?
Yeah, everything's great.
Did you used to like it?
I was never really big into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Okay.
but I seen the movie. I did like the other two, The Secret of the Ooze, and the time back in time. Well, I haven't seen them since I was a kid, but I remember watching those more than I watched this one. So when I watched this one, I was just like, okay, yeah, it's all right.
I got you.
It just
All
wasn't,
right.
All right, I
wasn't my
respect.
jam.
It's fine.
I respect your wrong opinion.
Opinions are like elbows. Everybody's got one.
No, it's okay. Hey, I'm standing by it.
I bet your look isn't audible to people, Ryan, because then I would have just got.
I just shot daggers at James for that comment. Like, I respect your wrong opinion.
Respect your wrong opinion.
About to
how
bitch
James
slap
is.
you, dude.
That's how James is.
Yeah.
Just kidding around.
I understand why you are the way you are now, Bob.
Doc,
Being related to James.
That's all good. That's all good.
please tell me your dumb opinion so we can move on.
Now, do the douches come in smaller sizes or just James size?
Wow.
All right. What do you think about this movie?
Me?
Yes.
The doctor?
The doc. What's your diagnosis?
I would say there's still a pulse on this one.
Oh, okay.
I'd say that it's a bad movie, but it rules.
Okay. Well, put that over. What is it about it that just barely puts it over that?
I think it's hard to describe what it was. I didn't grow up watching the Ninja Turtles or anything, but there was a lovable quality watching it where you could feel. It's weird because like I didn't have any nostalgia watching it, but you could feel that there was like a nostalgic feel to watching this, where it's like this would be a movie that if I had seen this when I was a kid that I would have loved, right? And so I think that knowing that, and like when my kids get a little bigger, I'd love for them to watch it, and I think they would really enjoy it.
Interesting.
And so I think that being there makes it a bad movie, but it's still like awesome.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to your take on it because you're the only person I knew out of our group that hadn't seen it before. So
Right.
As a new person coming in, you still saw enough there that you could understand why it was
so.
why it was a beloved movie.
My wife wanted to shoot the TVs. So
She wanted to throw a Schreger Dadder at it.
seriously.
That's right. All right, where'd you land on this, Mayor? What's your proclamation?
10, 11-year-old Mayor loved this movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved this movie. I think we were kind of talking a little bit this morning. I'm like, because I'd only watched it once. I'm like, I don't know, as 43-year-old Mayor, how do I feel about this, right? It's kind of on the fence. I watched it again this afternoon. I'm like, this is the one where the cat gets in the litter box and just shits outside the litter box. It's a bad movie that rules still.
Okay.
I think there's too much now with my adult eyes that you see that is,
There's
and even
actually
being an
shit on the
independent, independent film, understanding that they're limited, but some of the stuff you can't excuse, like the lack of chemistry between April O'Neil and Casey Jones, and Leonardo just being a total lump, just sitting on a chair, and some of that.
Yeah.
But I'll still watch it again. I still like it, even because it's part of how we were growing up, right? Turtles were a big thing when we were growing up. So yeah, bad movie, there rules.
Yeah, I think I think I understand what you're saying. And April talked herself right out of a job on here. And I will say this, that maybe the fact that there was issues or lack of chemistry or any of that is apparently she complained so much during shooting about the 6-day work week, about the violence in the film, about just about everything, that they didn't bring her back for the sequel because they didn't want her to be around.
Wow.
She was that much of a joy to work with.
Jeez.
That they're like, nope, we're good. We'll just recast the part with somebody else in the sequel, which usually only happens when the actor doesn't want to come back.
Right.
Right?
For them to be like, nah, fam, we're
I think they kept the same April O'Neil for the second one and third one.
Maybe I'm not sure. I don't remember because it's been a while. But
Yeah, she's short. She's got short brown hair. She's
Right.
got that.
Yeah.
Here's what Sean had to say. He said, "Good movie, full stop."
Sean's an idiot.
Now, Bob, Bob, seriously,
What?
you can talk crap about me or anybody else you want. These are our patrons.
I don't give a crap.
Okay, fine. Sean, I don't think you suck. All right.
He does.
He says TMNT is in regular rotation at my house. I love this movie. I've seen it no less than 100 times. Now, so obviously what's happened here is this is one of his favorite movies.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how many lines I quote on a daily basis with friends. Our favorite being, wise men say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. And true, there are some cracks in the paint when watched from a modern point of view.
Cracks in the paint, more like a damn wrecking ball.
So at least he's slightly acknowledging that with older eyes, there's not, but for the most part, everything holds up. It took aspects from the comics and TV show and made a great film with all of it. I would much rather watch these live action puppets than the shit Michael Bay produces. What? Because Michael Bay produced the newer ones, the newer turn into.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about Bad Boys. We're going to have a problem.
No, he's talking about the Ninja Turtle
We're going to talk
movies.
about The Rock. We're going to have a problem.
No, I don't think that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
I think he's talking about the newer Ninja Turtle movies, which are terrible.
Oh, yeah. Those are absolutely garbage.
Yeah, so I respect that take, Sean. Charlie, this is interesting that we got Sean, who it's his favorite movie,
Yeah.
and then we got Charlie that goes the total opposite. The two people we had couldn't have felt differently about this movie. Charlie, this is a bad movie. End of story. I went with great hope.
Shocked by that take.
He goes, I went with great hope. The movie had a big budget. It was a box office hit, and I had fond memories from watching it on VHS in the 90s. It made me laugh. I liked the fight scenes, and it felt really hyped up by the time it got to the climax. Now, watching it as an adult, I found none of this. The jokes were cliche at best, cringy most of the time, and nonsensical the rest of the time. The pacing was terrible, and I felt none of the anticipation I used to feel when the Shredder came in for the final fight. Props to the actors for the fight choreographies in full turtle costume, though.
Yeah.
I finished this movie with a sigh, and I am only left wondering if young me was a dimwit for enjoying it.
Like a sigh, like Raphael's sigh, or he's just like,
No, a sigh. Yeah. He finished it with a sigh and a sigh.
fortunate.
And he wonders if his younger self was a dimwit. So I waited to read both of theirs before I gave my opinion because I'm caught between these two things.
Yeah.
And so I fully understand. I'm always a little bit nervous whenever I go back to a film that I liked as a kid because one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to realize it's not nearly as good as you thought it was, and that's now ruined forever for you.
Right.
Right.
Or you're pleasantly surprised. And I feel like one happens more than the other. Okay. And so obviously Sean went back in this movie and he's continued to go back to this movie and he had that experience of, yeah, there's some cracks in it, but this is still awesome, which is a totally valid experience. And then Charlie used to like it as a kid, went back to it and had the opposite experience, right? Which is also, I totally understand that happening because that's happened to me too. I literally watched this movie and there were parts of it I felt like Charlie and there were parts of it I felt like Sean.
Exactly.
You know? And so because of that, I'm going to say bad movie that rules because there were still parts where I'm like, nah, come on, this is great, you know?
Right.
Right.
But I also totally understand how Charlie could land where he did, you know?
Yeah.
Because there were parts like when they're doing the ninjutsu, and I'm like, oh, come on, it's so stupid. The farm was terrible.
Yeah.
A lot of the acting was bad. The chemistry was bad, but there was enough magic still in the lamp,
With the turtles.
you know?
Because it's about
Yeah.
the turtles and
Yeah.
really Raphael. I mean, for me,
Raph saves the
Raphael
movie.
at the day.
Raph
At
saves
the end of the day.
movie.
Right.
Should just call the movie
Exactly.
Raphael.
Yeah,
Right.
It just saves the movie. So that's I'm going to say a bad movie that rules and feel confident leaving it there. But I get it, guys. I really do. I really, really do. And so we have to move on like we always do. We'll leave the Ninja Turtles behind for now, but we will do more coming up when we do Secret of the Ooze and Turtles in Time, Ninja Turtles 3, which Elias Koteas comes back for. Casey Jones is back in the third one. I don't know if it's him, but the character's back.
Yeah.
No, he's in it.
Is it the same guy?
He's not in the second one. He's in the
No,
third
he's
one.
not in the second one, yeah. So
How?
it'll be
I don't
exciting. To get through all that stuff, it's going to be a good time. But what are we going to do next week? This is what we got to talk about real quick. We got to tease next Friday, right? You've come for Ninja Turtles, and now you got to stick around for next week. because you guys, if you've listened all the way to the end of the episode, you're maniacs and you're awesome. You're the diehards. You're the reason we do this. So thank you for sticking it out through the whole thing. What's next week going to be? We're doing Rubber. The movie from 2010 about a tire that kills people.
Yeah,
Why are you so
it's
bummed
not-
about that?
Because it just looks like the dumbest thing.
I like
Doesn't
dumb
it?
things. We were talking the other day. I said I love dumb things. I watched the trailer. I'm like, God, I hope nobody picks this. And it's the Patreon winner. I'm like, oh my God,
It's the stupidest
this is
thing.
gonna be
To be fair,
terrible.
Yeah.
Kurt won't be on, so there won't be a bunch of puns.
Won't be a bunch of tire puns.
Well,
Yeah.
there's
Is that
probably
one?
just enough puns. Oh, could you imagine if Kurt was on Rubber?
Yeah.
There's a lot of rubbers.
We'd be getting pretty tired about
Well, no.
this.
That's right. Oh,
Yep.
See?
Went in one ear and out the
Let's
rubber.
just roll past that one.
I blame the patrons. So this is one that our patrons voted on. So if you join the Patreon, you can vote on future upcoming episodes. And maybe it only won by 2 or 3 votes. You could be the
didn't vote
one
for that. Don't look at
that
me.
sways this so that it doesn't happen again. Okay?
Yeah, you guys should have picked Staying Alive.
We had Staying Alive on there.
Oh,
We had Cloak and Dagger was a
Cloak
close
and
second.
Dagger was on there.
Right after that was House of the Dead, almost won the U-Bowl movie.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of these would have made great episodes.
So Ryan Farrell's happy because Rubber won. 'cause
Rubber won.
Right,
Ryan Farrell is thrilled. He's
Yeah.
going to be here on the
The
episode.
human database is going to be very happy with you
And
guys.
3-hour episode.
we'll
coming
just
up.
have to see
Clear
how
your
this goes.
schedules for the whole
If
week.
we talk for 3 hours about a tire, I'm going to quit Bad Movies Rule. I'm going to close the podcast down, and I'm going to sell it to somebody for $5.
So you're saying you'll be too tired after that?
He's still upset about Cobra.
Don't
So-
tread on me.
Join us.
Don't tread on me.
Join us next week. In my own personal hell. I'll be in my own personal hell. Here.
Let's roll.
This can't keep happening.
The tire war of Venezuela.
Let's burn some rubber.
Let's not say we did. Ninja Turtles, they're kicking Shredder. Look out. He's got the nunchucks and he's coming to get you. Wheel of Fortune, dude. Tell me, you didn't pay money for this.
Cowabunga!
I made a funny.
Pizza.
That guy's one hell of a can
No
opener.
anchovies.
You put anchovies on this, we're going to have some serious
Calling
problems.
your mama on the sewer phone.